that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we could leave the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Willie is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Gerard got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work, if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
That he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary.
Yo, 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 it's Willie May here in the studio, and welcome to That's Scary, your new Halloween horror and haunted house podcast. I'm your host, Willie May, and I'm so excited to have you guys here on the show today. No matter if it's a movie edit, jump scares at a haunt, or immersive, frightful event, scaring is everything. And this show, the team talks about new segment, the timing, and the change of scare. Today on this show, who's coughing in the background?
Sorry.
and who's speaking up my studio? We got
Nice.
Ron and Danny. What's up? Hey,
I'm back.
you're back. What's up?
It's been almost, a year?
Yes, it has. It's so here today on the
Forgive me.
show. I'm so excited. My you know, we're doing something different. You know, as you can see, we have Gerard in Atlanta, Georgia right now with me. What? Oh,
Look at
he's
that.
in the studio, and we're just having a good time today. And we got a good show for you guys. Seriously, the show is good. We got a lot of people all of our guests, well, the two, well, including me, is from the West Coast. And I'm so excited to have you guys. We're talking about the timing of scaring and everything about it, from the movies to the events to even being a scare actor. And I'm so excited to have you guys here because we want to make sure that we have some good takeaways going on. But it's so good to see everybody here in the studio. We got the OGs hanging out, holding it down. And that's scary. And we do apologize. We got two mics in here and no mixer, but it's okay. We're just gonna
Go on with it.
go along with it. So, anyways, what's good, Kat? You feeling good? How can I plug?
I'm coughing up my lungs. I'm still sick. I was sick all week last week. I'm still trying to get better. I went to the doctor. Doctor prescribed me something I can't take, so now I'm waiting for a new prescription. But
Wow.
we're hanging in there. What can we do, right?
What can you do but just hang in
Good.
there? I feel you on that one. How
I'm
you?
so excited to have Kat here.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
miss you guys.
miss you too. What? This is great. I feel good today. I feel really good
I
today.
feel really good too.
Yes, this is gonna be a really good show.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was excited first off just to be here and hang out with. I know I've been here since Saturday morning. I got here early. It's about a 4.5 hour drive, 2 hours, or 4.5 hour drive here. Got here like 2 a.m. and I was excited to see Will. He's like, "Yeah, let's do this." I'm like, "No, bed day. We going to
I'm going to sleep.
I went to sleep. We woke up. We had a good day today. Hung out. Got to watch some movies. But I don't. After all that, I'm actually more excited to have Kat here. I've been missing her.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Will, but I've been missing her. I've looked at some of the movies I've selected. We're waiting for her to come back. Some of my memes have been around, hoping for her to come back. But like,
Aw,
well, also because
I miss you guys.
Also, a nice thing about you when you were gone, when you were out being sick and stuff. We're hoping you're getting better, so we've been praying for you. But it's like you're kind of like not a bad way, it seems like the nice police officer. But hey, control yourself, because sometimes,
And that shit was gone while I was gone.
especially with myself, sometimes I get tangent, and that's gonna go down a bad rabbit hole. You know,
Oh no.
I had to police him a couple of times. I was like, this is not normally. I'm the wild child myself too, but I was like, what's missing?
No
And
one
also, your infectious laugh. Like we love your laugh here. I remember one time it was just it was we were doing what y'all I'm dead, and we were it was laughing. We were just,
we need a voice of reason.
we
I don't know if that's me all the time, but it's some of the time.
each other's memes like we were so bad at each other. We didn't understand. We were like, look, we're gonna try to get through it. And we were like, what's wrong with the show? I'm like, Cat's missing. No one's laughing at our jokes. They're just so perverted. We're like, yeah, that's about right. But anyway, I'm
There's like there's a couple of dudes just talking about scary stuff and boobies. We just
Of course. What the fuck else did you guys talk about?
but yeah, but I'm excited to have you as well, and we missed you here at Yep, That's Scary.
I missed you guys too.
Yeah, but it's so funny. Gerard came down to Atlanta, and we had actually a cool time with everybody
Yesterday, right?
yesterday. We've done a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about today, and we worked with some things, but it was really cool just for him to come and then like to go to the pond. We went to our pond in the back, Lake May. It's called Lake May, but it's a pond. I don't know why they call it, but it's Lake May.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know how your family's feeling, but I was like, yeah, man, these geese come an issue. We'll just get a pelt rifle. We'll handle them. The country bunks.
We're not doing that today.
Wow.
We're not doing that today.
I mean,
Dude, don't do that.
I was here for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, look, man, you put a deer feeder back here. You can see the deer. They're over here. There's a thing called urban hunting. And I was trying to spread real quick.
Yeah. But anyways, we're just gonna hush on that right now. But we're just we're gonna get started on the
Fade to black.
Fade to black. But he wanted to show. Look, we're not hunters. We're from the West Coast, so when we see whatever God's creatures, it is what it is, right? But he's like,
I get the meat from the store.
shoot some of these geese. I'm like, no. Let's do some urban hunting and kill a deer here. I'm like, we want to see some come on.
A little.
We go to the grocery store for the meat.
No. I want the fresh meat. I want to take a toothbrush, soak them in some Italian dressing, wrap them up with some jalapenos, cream cheese, and some bacon bits. After they've been soaking that Italian dressing for a couple hours, fry them. Oh, forget about it. That's good.
Lord have mercy. Well,
Oh my god.
listen, I'm excited because I think I've met a wonderful creative. I love meeting young people and other young creatives and
Creators.
everyone just out there that loves Halloween and horror. And this time I got this crazy message that went through. Normally it doesn't get to me. It's filtered. Even my social media is filtered. And this time, this one particular person got to me and messaged. It was like, "Yo, your dad. I talked to your dad, and he told me about you, and I'm listening to you. Yep, That's Scary. And I just want to introduce."
What?
And I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm like, what? What is this? And I'm wiping the sleep from my eye, like, huh? And this guy has created some amazing stuff. His name is Josh Evans. He's a great horror person, and he enjoys horror. He goes to all the horror cons here in Georgia, and he made this costume for his daughter, and I want to share it with you guys because it really made me smile. Check it out. So this
Oh
is
my gosh.
Oh,
yes, that movie.
That's badass.
Yes,
that
Uh-huh.
is.
Isn't that cool?
So what did he make
That's
this for?
fucking badass.
He made this for. I know he made this for his daughter. You were telling me about this, right?
Mhm.
But what convention is this? He's at. It looks like he's at a convention.
Yeah, he's at
somewhere. Yeah.
Days of the Dead. Look at
That is.
Look at this.
That's badass.
So he loves building props, and he is a self-taught sculptor here in
Oh
Georgia,
shit.
and he made a Bigfoot costume. Look at
Jeez.
that.
Oh, look at that.
Little Timmy down the well.
And that's how it starts, Will. They get the
Right.
kids.
And so I loved it. I loved what he had.
He based that off the Slim Jim Bigfoot, didn't he?
Oh, you know what? Listen, I'm just no matter if it was Slim.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the shop woman.
I love
Look
this.
at that.
I love this.
It's really cool. I enjoyed meeting new people, but he was like, "Yo, I want to come in and just show you my stuff," and we hit it off, and it's always good to find someone local that loves horror that you can totally vibe with, and he just Josh Evans, if you're watching, hello, I showed everyone your stuff, and keep doing good, and hopefully we get to hang out soon. So last Sunday it was Gerard's birthday, and you missed it.
I missed it.
We tried to celebrate it, and Gerard, I do apologize because there's some drama that happened behind the scenes where I was like saying happy birthday, and I was like, but then I didn't celebrate his birthday with him, and I felt bad. So you didn't celebrate it, I didn't celebrate it.
We didn't do shit.
No, we didn't do nothing, but he celebrated. I know he did, and I was like, at least you went and celebrate yourself.
What did you do?
Well,
I went to sleep. I haven't
Hey.
celebrated birthdays in a while, but let me tell you something. That was some good sleep. My work called me and they switched my shift. I'm like, I'm gonna be off my birthday. He said, yeah. It's like, happy birthday. I said, cool. I'm gonna go to sleep and hung up the phone. I'm not a big birthday guy, and it's funny. Willie makes a bigger deal out of it, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
no, he
Can we
didn't.
ask? Can we ask the year? What's the year?
I'm 24 this year.
A
I know.
whopping 24.
I know I look 20.
Congratulations. That's a youngin.
Listen, Kat, he lying to you. This youngin
Is he lying?
Yes, he did a whole lot, and we caught it on camera. Check it out. We
You're
caught
lying.
it on
Oh,
camera.
we're doing this today.
We're
Oh
doing-
my.
We're
Whoa,
doing.
whoa, whoa. I'm a lot hairier than that.
Oh, fuck. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm crying. Oh my god, I'm crying. Will, you are horrible.
No,
He did that one. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
it's funny.
Ugh.
Funny is,
Woo.
and maybe Willie picked this up because that's an outfit I would wear. Like those shorts I wear them.
Listen, that's him.
No, he's lying.
That's
He's fucking
him.
lying.
Trying to tell you, that's him. He
I'm
did,
dead.
he did this. We had cameras on him. That's him. That
The whole backflip and everything.
yeah. Yep. He had skates and everything. The only thing that was missing was guns. I don't know. Why he didn't have the
I'm
guns.
dead.
Probably weren't the animals. I don't know, but yeah.
Fucking horrible.
But yeah, happy to you, Gerard. I'm glad that you're here, and it was actually the first. He's the first host to have a
Have a
birthday
birthday this year.
show during the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
normally our birthdays are after the fact or not on Sunday, but it
Mhm.
landed on Sunday, and so yeah. But anyways, have you guys been watching scary movies lately? I've been watching some scary movies lately.
Yeah. You know, we
watched that one movie last night. Yeah.
What'd
that
you
was
guys
so
watch?
Good. That was so good. I'm on. We watched maybe real quick. It wasn't a picture perfect movie for everybody, but for me, it was perfect. It was Knock at the Cabin by M. Night Shyamalan. It was actually one of our sleeper tickets. I was able to watch out. It was perfect for me at least because first off, it's something that keeps you thinking. You got to focus on it,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it wasn't so like We got to confuse these people. No, it's something you want to keep digging, trying to find out more, but it's the correct amount. It wasn't so convoluted that you could like. It's at the point like, okay, I don't want to even bother with this. Going to Google in 30 minutes trying to figure out more stuff, or reading the book. Is first off, I'm lazy. I don't read books. I listen to audiobooks. But like stuff like that, it's perfect. I was like the right amount. It's beautiful. I love the movie. We were trying to write the script and work on stuff last night. My laptop went off my lap, and I'm just sitting here like this. What's his name?
So interested.
He was the wrestler. I love that. I love him as an individual, and he did a great job. He stole the.
He was the cast was great. The storyline was great. It was amazing. I also watched We Have Ghosts. I thought that was freaking phenomenal. It was funny. It reminds me of Beetlejuice and Ghostbusters. And then I watched Megan unrated. That was pretty
How
cool.
was that good? Was that good?
It was. I wanted to see some gruesome. I wanted the unrated version, so I watched that. It was good. I laughed at it a little bit, But again, you won't see me bring no little doll baby that's
No,
gonna talk
hell no.
to me intelligently
No.
and tell me what to do. You're not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Where's the camera? Bing, you're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Microsoft Bing. Anyways, I'm sorry. I had to say that. But anyways, I have some current events I want to talk to you guys about. All right? Is that okay?
Wait. What
Let's do
movies
it.
have you been watching? Any movies, Kat? Have you watched any?
Sorry.
Have
You know
done-
what? You know what? In November I got real sick and I didn't do much of anything, to be honest with you guys. I think the only thing I seen, I can't think of the damn movie, but it's they're in a cabin. They go to a friend's cabin. It's just two people. I can't think of the name of it, but it's during COVID in the movie.
Oh,
And
sick.
what is it?
Sick. You're sick.
Yes, that one's a good one. That one I liked it. I thought that was a really good movie.
So I started Sick, and then I stopped watching Sick. I think I was like just working. I was
Is it a
working.
horror movie?
Yeah, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, I watched
It's a good whole movie. Honestly, it's really
Slash
good.
movie. It gave me the whole Scream vibes, but yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good. And I saw not a horror movie, but I saw The Missing.
Well, okay.
That
Okay.
one was really good plot twist at the end.
Okay.
Good movie, great movie.
I also watched
Good
Them and They with Blumhouse. So I watched that too.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that one? Yeah, pretty good too. So
How was
there-
that? Was that good?
It was. I think Sick had more potential than that one, in my opinion. But there's a twist to it. But that was another
Okay.
cabin camp movie. So
I finally got around to watching Smile.
Oh my God! What did you think? Don't get in trouble now, Gerard. Think
It was
clearly before you.
It was a good time. I enjoyed the movie, but it wasn't like super thought provoking in my opinion. It was fun to kind of watch, especially in early beginnings of working in the psych ward and stuff, trying to figure out some stuff, what's going on in her head psychologically. I love the twist at the. I guess I could talk about the ending. It's been out long enough.
Yeah, it's
Where
been out
like-
long enough.
Where she's like, "Okay, I escaped my mind." It's like you didn't escape shit.
You didn't escape
Watch
shit.
this. That I thought I enjoyed, but other than that, it was a good time. I really did enjoy it, but it wasn't like blow me off my socks off. Very good time. I'm glad I waited till it came to was it HBO Max?
Yeah, it's on
I think, yeah,
HBO Max.
It's perfect for that, for my opinion. Wouldn't it be worth a ticket price though, in my opinion?
no, I mean, the sad part about it is you wouldn't have understand Smile until you went out to the movies, because I don't think the trailers really did much to tell the plot for it. But
Right.
in my opinion, Barbarian was way better than Smile. I felt like Smile jump scares were just put in, but cinematically it was okay. The story was interesting. I felt like for the therapist to have a therapist, whoa.
That's what I thought too. I was like, "Whoa, wait, what's going on here?"
And I felt like that part was very intriguing, and there was substance there. But then again, it kind of plateaued for me. I was like, okay, but that movie came out, and then I think Barbarian came out, or Barbarian came out first, and then Smile came out.
Came out first, yeah.
So having those two kind of right side by side from each other in their release, I think Barbarian was a little bit better than Smile. But I mean, I had a good time watching it. They had great jump scares, but I felt like the jump scares were just forced.
Mhm.
We're talking about that today, about timing and scaring in movie edits with Big.
Talk about movie real quick. Before we move on, I want to say this. This is the third time this week alone I've attempted to watch Cocaine Bear and has failed. Because we were
Can't
going to
watch that
watch it
shit.
last night.
Are you
and
guys
I'm-
watching that shit?
Yeah,
Watching Cocaine
we were gonna-
Bear, except
I fell asleep before we can even get to it. I went to the movie. I was going to go see it, and I had a date lined up, and she was a little late, so we missed the movie. I'm like, it is what it is. The very next day, I was like, Pops, let's go see Cocaine Bear. He said, cool. We bought the tickets. We get to the theater, like, oh, these tickets are for Franklin. This is Spring Hill. I'm like, damn. And we went to see Ant-Man.
it wasn't meant.
Tonight,
man.
last night, we're going to watch Cocaine Bear. And all day, I'm like, we're going to watch Cocaine Bear. We're hanging out. We're eating lunch. We're going to watch Cocaine Bear. We get to the house, just out.
Knock the cabin door and then knock out Bryce. I was like, or Gerard. I was like, you know what? I can't with him. We'll keep working.
It's my bedtime at that point. I would.
Can I say this? Podcast life is really crazy, and even though this is new for us, new for me doing a podcast, I didn't realize how much work goes into it. I really didn't. I was talking to a close buddy of mine, like, dude, like, I don't like it. This was a great idea, but I just don't like it. This is, I'm putting in work, and but can I be honest? Can I be transparent? But
Absolutely.
about it, it's just talking with you guys. I think this is the highlight of every weekend of hard work, is talking with you guys about it, and then just reminiscing and talking about our love of everything horror. I think that's the best part about it. But this show is all about entertaining as well. And just so you guys know, and the people that are watching, we are introducing a new segment in our podcast show, and it's called Yep, that was scary. This is, and look, it is behind me, and he moves back, but I move back too. But anyway, like, it's truly about us being challenged and taking on tasks of our fears and challenging with people and other brand people, brand sponsors. And so today we have a Yep, That Was Scary challenge. And because Gerard's birthday is was last week, because
He gets to do it.
because Gerard's birthday was last week, I am taking him to a awesome challenge where we get to do Yep, That Was Scary, and see if he can make it through this challenge. If he makes it through the challenge, and if he has a higher point advantage on me, there's a punishment that we are going to do.
Oh no.
Wait,
We're doing
ready?
that.
Ready for this? 100%. Let me just say this right now. I'm ready for McCanny Manor as well. I'm ready for everything.
Are you fucking sick? Where's that guy at now? No.
So let me see where McCamey Manor at, because Russ and I still talk. Russ is in Tennessee now, so it was so funny because McCamey Manor was 20 minutes from our house, Cat, in California. Where
Yeah, and they got kicked out.
and California was like, not today, Russ. Not today, Russ McCamey. And so then he escaped. I mean, not fled. I mean, ran. I mean, excuse me. He
All of
moved
it.
to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And while I was in Tennessee with him, he was 20 minutes from me.
I'm like 20 or 30 minutes away from McCanny Manor. I will do McCanny Manor, but I want the time frame set. I don't want to show up and it's whatever. I want to set my time frame.
Gerard, first of all, I would never do it. He knows I wouldn't do it, but I would help. And I would be sitting there straggling your behind, like, Black.
I will do McCanny Manor, but I want my time frame set.
You black girl. And Cat probably like, where's Gerard? Oh, he's in the back. And puddle of water, just chilling.
I mean,
That's
like,
a question. Let me ask you that. Who in their right mind? Because to me, that's not horror. That is not horror to me. That is
a little torture.
some fear. Fucking let me get over my fears. What the? Why would you ever want to endure that type of tolerance?
Torture.
Like I don't get that. I don't. It's torture. It's not fear. I don't. I don't believe it's fear at all.
So we're gonna talk about that with Victor, but I believe, and this is
Okay.
what my we're so the immersive event side of things. I believe that in this day and age, people are getting numb. They're getting numb to these stories,
Horror.
they're getting numb to movies, horror movies. They're getting numb to the fact of going to these haunted houses and these, these theme parks, and they want touch, they want substance, they want more, and people are looking for that, and it's becoming more this torture hunt, which there's a couple of them now crossing over into this 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 dark world, because people are just coming into it. But like, to be honest, this is something that I think personally, you don't want to do. You don't want to put your life in someone else's hands that don't know you, that
No.
don't know your limits, um,
Mm-mm.
'cause you don't want to get hurt. I mean, that's just me. We pride ourselves in all of our our safety. So when we do our events. So, anyways, like, but yes, so tonight, uh, this hey, East Coast, huh?
Hey there.
What's up, East Coast? What's up? Now, East Coast, don't get mad today because we got a lot of people from the West Coast coming in.
Let's go today.
West Coast today, but don't get mad. But I'm glad you guys showing some support. But what's so crazy about it is today is the first that we're gonna be doing. Yep, that was scary, and we're gonna be documenting it. And so hopefully next week you guys will be seeing it, seeing some clips on the show. So check out our social media at Yep That's Scary, and you will see what Gerard is gonna be tempted to. So it's gonna be really great. So, anyways, I got some current events I want to talk about really quick. Is that okay? I'm gonna go do them real quick, but I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Okay, so first of all, let's
Okay.
talk about this. Uh, Here we
I
go.
was really hoping that wasn't what that was. What I was reading it.
The device. So,
No,
dang, cat. I mean, people.
absolutely.
Cat.
Nope.
If you listen on the podcast on the audio, you're gonna be hawking up a lung in their ears in their car.
I know.
I'm just
It's
letting you
okay.
know. She's like,
That's okay. And
Yep.
today's show is
We're-
the mouth. Okay,
Right?
go ahead.
We're working on it. That's your new audition for Halloween. Anyways, let's talk about it real quick. So this device advertised as a way to let long distance couples share a real physical intimacy in causing a buzz among Chinese social media users who have reacted with both intriguing and shocking reactions. Equipped with pressure sensor and pressure sensors and actuators, the device is said to be able to mimic a real kiss by replicating the pressure, movement, and temperature of a user's lips. What do you guys think about this, and would you use this?
No. We're not
Ryan,
doing
what is his name? Ryan Leonard.
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds lips. Does it come with that? Because I'll do it right there.
Those not Ryan Reynolds lips. That's like,
I don't want it.
listen, that's Megan lips right there. That's Megan 2.0 lips. That's Megan unrated lips right there. Would you kiss a Megan doll? That's what that is.
This is some damn porn sexual shit right here if I've ever seen it. Come on now.
Right. I don't know. I may use it if I first of all, let me just say this. I hate long distance relationships. I really do. And I, depending on who I'm dating is, I don't know, probably, but I don't know. This is
No.
just weird. And then I saw a picture of someone holding their lips up to it. And I was just like, no.
No.
If
This is like a weird ass fetish or something.
spend money for that, to spend the money to go see him, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's
I could see like some good ideas, but let's say military men or I'm trying to be devil's advocate. First, this is weird as shit, but devil's advocate, like maybe your husband, your wife is deployed overseas. You can't see them for 6 months to a year sometimes because we know that's happened. This is it's there's a small amount of beauty in it. They're trying to connect people, especially people who can't connect, like people like that. It's early, it's very early stages, so it's creepy. So, but maybe this has potential for something real in the future. Be honest. You know,
Interesting. Okay,
So-
Oreo storage. So this is the thing. This is the thing. So the Doomsday Oreo storage vault in Norway, built in 2020, the facility was marketing move to hold Oreo recipe and large stockpiles of cookies in the event of an apocalypse. What do you guys think about this?
Don't they have these everywhere? Not just saying Oreo. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I thought this was really cool. If look, I love Oreos. If I had a big milk
Oh, we'd
jug,
be in trouble.
I'll just be sitting there eating it and just chilling like zombies. What? Come after me.
you
The
know
last, what? Oh, the last of us and these Oreos. I don't know.
if you would have asked me this question like 3 or 4 years ago, I said that's broke. Let me tell you something. The last 3 or 4 years, oh god, you put Oreos in front of me, that whole pack is gone within 2 days.
I mean, I think Oreos and Twinkies for me, but yeah, but that's just me. Happy birthday, Jensen Ackles from Dean, who played in Supernatural. So we went to the Supernatural convention, and it was interesting. It was fun. It was interesting, but
You want to let me do karaoke?
no, there's a karaoke thing that they did there. A lot of people were there. It was fun. He wanted to sing Ice Ice Baby. I was like, not today. You're not going
Not
to
today, baby.
I listened.
It's famous here. Not today.
How many times I sing Mumble number 5 on that 4-hour drive over here? I told you like 17 times. You want to let me do it?
But I wanted to say happy birthday to him just to make sure we get some credit so that he can be on the show. So happy birthday, Jason. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Let me play some music. It's not the birthday song because
That's not the birthday song.
no.
Birthday song is copyrighted.
So this is great. I want to talk about this. So Cinemark is gutting excuse me. Cinemark is gutting the sculptors again by bringing the Ghostface cups back. It's a short time. Pre-sales have begun already. It ends on the 17th of this March. But again, you guys, if you guys want to get your cups, I'm trying to still order these cups, and I'm having a problem ordering them because every time I go on the website, it's like not allowing me to get on it. But if you go to cinemark.shop, you can order these cups. So I'm trying to get mine. But yeah. Last but not least, I just want to talk about this thing here. So Ghostface.
What the fuck is that?
Let me tell you about Ghostface.
You like the caller ID name? I love it.
I spoke to Ghostface. We're going to talk to Ghostface today.
You can call.
We're going to talk to Ghostface today only because I want y'all to hear this. But the promotion for Scream 6 is out of sight, out of mind. They've been killing it with the food, the stabby meals. They've been killing it with these meetups and these places where you can take pictures and nostalgia. And let me just say this: we're going to talk to Scareface, and let me Ghostface. Excuse me. And I just want to say this: when he calls, which is going to be on the show right now, we're going to leave a link so that you guys can talk to Ghostface yourself as well. But here we go. Let's see if he calls me. Uh-oh. Y'all hear it? Y'all hear that? Can y'all hear this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hello?
Hello, yup, that's scary. I'm so glad we have this moment to talk. A little catch up. Me? Oh, I've been busy. I'm tired. I'm traveling to the Big Apple, seeing the sights and visiting old friends.
Okay. Do I hang up? Ghostface is literally just called us right now. We're gonna leave you guys a link so that y'all can talk to him about Scream 6 is in theaters, and we got It's soon on the 10th, and we got to see it. So, but the show's been crazy. The promotion's been crazy, and Paramount Pictures, by the way, you guys forgot to give us our box, our promo box. So please fix that. I'll send you our address again, but please give us our boxes. Okay. Okay.
It'd be funny to send to my house.
What?
It'd be funny to ask you just send it to my house.
Oh, I'll send you Ghostface to your house. Period.
Hey, you have an excuse to come see me in Tennessee again.
Whatever. Anyway, and here is more news. Here is more news in a minute. Is that
We've lost another true legend in the world of horror. Ruku Browning, known for playing the creature from the Black Lagoon in Universal's original 1954 horror classic, has passed away at the age of 93. Browning played the Gill Man for the film's extensive underwater sequences, and he subsequently reprised the iconic role in the sequels Revenge of the Creature 1955 and The Creature Walks Among Us 1956. An underwater cinematographer and stuntman, Browning was uniquely equipped to play the creature from the Black Lagoon, and he went on to direct the underwater sequences in the films including Thunderball 1965, Hello Down There 1969, Caddyshack 1980, and Never Say Again 1983. Browning made his directorial debut in 1973 Sea Lion movie Salty, and he notably also co-created the classic Flipper franchise. Browning later directed the movie Mr. No Legs 1978, centered on a man's shotguns, built into his wheelchair. For many years, Browning had been the last surviving original actor to the portray of the classic Universal monsters. Browning is survived by his children, Ruku Browning Jr., Renee, Kelly, and Kim. While we wait for Blumhouse Five Nights at Freddy's movie, has learned that Blumhouse is also bringing the video game Dead by Daylight to the big screen. My kids love this game. Blumhouse and James Wan Atomic Monster are joining forces with Behavioral Interactive on the Dead by Daylight movie, set to be a scary cinematic adaptation. Launched in 2016, the popular Dead by Daylight is a multiplayer slasher video game that puts characters up against slasher maniacs, both original and iconic to the world of horror. We couldn't be more thrilled to work with Jason Blum and James Wan, two giants of the horror film industry, to further expand the Dead by Daylight universe. Said by Stephen Mulhern, Executive Vice President at Behavioral Interactive. At Behavioral, our motto is to create unique moments together forever. Atomic Monster and Blumhouse are the ideal partners to craft Dead by Daylight's killer entrance into the big screen. Patrick Wilson, who played the role in the first Insidious film, will make his directorial debut with the upcoming fifth installment of the series, expected to release on July 7th, 2023. And just like that, my boy Willie Mae mentioned, today we're talking about timing of the scaring with Victor Matthew and James Hackstrom. And that's it for Horror News in a Minute.
National Haunted Attraction Industry Trade Show. Register now at FearExpoLive.com.
Fear Expo Live is back, baby. March 23rd through the 26th in Owensboro, Kentucky Convention Center. Fear Expo Live is the newest national haunted Attraction Industry Trade Show, bringing together hunters and vendors. They are dedicated to connecting attraction owners with the latest products and services from the industry, leading vendors earlier in the year to ensure products are delivered on time and ahead of schedule, and at some of the best prices around. For more information, you can visit fearexpolive.com. Again, that is fearexpolive.com, and we'll see you there.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. All right, that was great. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Gerard, on that. And I just want to say this: Fear Expo it's happening. I'm really excited. We're gonna be there for Fear Expo, which I'm really excited for that. And then just this news just in. I mean, I kind of knew about it like a year ago, but I guess I am teaching a class called Influencer Marketing as a Game Changer for Your Haunt. So if you guys are going to Fear Expo, please go and register for my class. To go to Fear Expo is what, $25. To be a VIP is $65. The pricing is just phenomenal, bargain prices, and then the classes are free. So it's free education. There's about 50 hours of education. I'm a part of that 50 hours. But this class is going to be amazing. I'll be talking about how you can get influencers to your event and how they can bring value to your event to help ticket sales and all that good stuff. So you guys got to check it out. All right, it's going to be a good event. It's going to be a good.
I hope you know I'm going to videotape that, bootleg it.
No, please don't. Please don't. We're a little bit behind on time, but I'm going to skip to you guys. We're going to go straight to our creepy creative of this segment, which he's going to be talking about everything of scare, timing and scares of movies, filming, and also in immersive events. So let's do it. All right, so this is a good buddy of mine. I enjoy this man. He's a great creative on the West Coast, and I'm just so happy to have him on the show. But just a little bit of background of who I'm going to introduce you guys to, if I could find his bio. 1 second. Okay, Victor Matthew is a creator of all things horror related, both in film and live events field. He is most known for Monster Project, which is literally when we saw Monster Project, he's everywhere. He was on Dead Central. The promotion of this was amazing. Feature horror film, which achieved over 45 million views worldwide, along with Deadlift, Smiling Man, and amongst others. In the live events world, Victor has been instrumental in creation and growth of Delusion's immersive experience in LA, mostly acting as a creative advisor, general manager, and sound designer for this amazing experience. And let me tell you, Delusion's show is done by John Braverman and I believe Neil Patrick Harrison is still a partner on it, but like amazing stunt work, amazing show. Victor most recently served as a general manager for the LA Haunted Hayride in 2022. And he's a good buddy of mine, good friend. I thoroughly enjoy him. And I'm so excited to have him on the show and bring him in. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, here is Victor. What's up, buddy? Victor, are you there? Let's try that again. I see him. Do y'all see him?
No.
Okay, let me see that.
Can we hear him?
Victor, say something. I can't see his screen.
There he is.
Hey! What's up, buddy? Oh my
Hey
God,
guys, nice to meet you all, and good to see you again, Willie. Thanks for having me on.
First of all, I just want to say there's a little bit lag there, but I just want to say this. I am so excited to have you on the show.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see you.
There's a little bit of lag, but I'm so excited to have you on the show today. and I'm excited to share with everyone a cool person that I've worked with and had so much fun working with. And let me tell you, this man, I say he runs laps around me. We were talking about it before the show started. We were just like talking about your resume and just everything that you've done. Everyone's like, "How do you know Victor?" I'm like, "Listen, I know Victor. We worked on a little passion project together, but like the man everywhere, he's killing. There's times where our projects in California, I would just watch you in awe and just like, happy to see another young enthusiast and creative in horror and just everything that's horror and haunted house, just killing it in the game. And so I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited to have you on the show. So thank you so much for being here. I think he's frozen. I think he's frozen. But as he gets unfrozen, let me see. There he is. Victor, can you hear us? Okay, he is fixing himself. I want to share a little bit of background of Victor and I. Victor, so there was a TV show that we were working on with Travel Channel and Discovery, and the producers in New York was like, "Look, you guys, Willie, I cannot get out to you for some weird reason. We need you to find another director to come out and a shooter to come out and to make this work." And I was like, I didn't know who to find. I was frantically trying to search, for some links. And here he comes. He's coming in right now. And I literally got, and I was like, what? I gotta get. Let me just talk to Victor, and let me just say this: the man understands the vision. The man understands just the concept. He could jump into any project and make things work. And so, Victor, I don't know if your camera. I think he's still working on this.
Can you hear him?
I think he hears me.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about
can't hear
that. I had a connection issue with my computer.
No worries. Your camera's not. But if the camera is the lag issue, then that's fine. As long as we can hear you, we're good.
There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, we can proceed. I just turned the camera on. Hopefully it works.
Yeah. So I just want to see this video. I don't know if you remember this, Victor. Like this was way back when, and when we were doing my treatment for Discovery and Travel, and I just check it out, guys. Check it out. Today I'm in Southern.
Action.
So today I am in bright and sunny Southern California, where there's beaches and endless sunshine. Okay. You see, SoCal is home to some of the most terrifying haunted attractions. SoCal is home to some of the most terrifying haunted attractions in the country. And if you're not running, and if you don't run,
You'll be scared. What is it? You'll be. Line, please.
I love it, Will. I love it.
Wait. Let me ask you, I want to ask you this. Is this before or after the banana?
this is the banana.
God, no. What was before the banana?
Listen. First of all, let me just say this. In my defense, we had to get the location, we had to get the actors, we had to get everything. I even had to, as acting producer, I had to even get Victor to come in and make this work. But let me just say this: that point in time, my head was just all over the place. I couldn't settle in, and this is how I know Victor's true, and he knows his stuff and he knows his craft. He literally, that whole time took so much time for me to get those lines together. He literally stopped and just looked at me and was like, "Listen, you need to get your flow." He really was calming. He was like, "All right, we got this." Like he was like reassuring me, like, "You're good. Like you have this position for a reason. Like you good. Let's just go back." And he came from a different approach and perspective for me to settle my nerves. And then then the rest was just like clockwork. But it was my fault
Willie,
that we went.
what year was this?
That was 2000. 2015, 2014, 2015 when we start pitching. It was around 2015, and let me just say this, bro. Like you, if it wasn't for you, we would have been eating at 6, 7, 8 in the morning, but we ended at 3 in the morning. So thank you so much for that. But how you doing, man? What's going on?
I remember. I'm good, man. You know, just been hustling, doing my thing. I'm a dad now, so I have a 5-month-old baby at home.
Congratulations!
So that's a new adventure.
Baby looks adorable. I
Thank
remember
you.
when I
Thank you,
I
Reese. So that's a whole new journey.
right. I was like, he has a baby. So you're Daddy Victor now, man. I'm so proud of you. Like everything, your life is
Daddy
expanding.
Victor, that's right.
It's beautiful, and I'm so excited to have you on the show. So let's talk about first of all, let's talk about the Monster Project. This is awesome.
Let's do it.
First of all, let's show everybody what it is real quick. Here's a clip from Monster Project.
Should you at least get the shot?
Man, you do not pay me enough for this.
Maybe the channel's blowing up.
That's all money right there, baby.
But you know, we can make more. What if we turn this into a show? We go out looking for real monsters. Attention all monsters in the Los Angeles area looking for subjects to be interviewed for a documentary titled
The Monster Project.
I don't think we should be going looking for those things.
What is that? We got another response to the casting notice, and she's a vampire.
We all love a good horror story. We like to pretend that monsters are real.
The Monster Project. Scene 1, take 1.
But what if they truly exist, living amongst us?
I understand you wish to conceal your identity for your protection.
Not my protection. Yours.
I see him. Go away! Go away! Are you okay? Those people that we brought here to interview, they're not people!
Time to pay for your sins.
Wow.
That gave me the chills. Honestly, that gave me the chills.
So, was that you who fell off the ladder? When at the end of the clip, somebody falls off the ladder.
No, that was a stuntman for that one. I did do some stunts for the film and so did my DP, Phil Siebel, but no, that was a stuntman for that one because that was a pretty high fall. We had a whole truss on a crane. He was on a cable.
That's awesome. I was curious about that because I was literally talking with Willie today where I watched the trailer and stuff. And after I saw this trailer, I literally was texting my father. We're a big fan of horror. He especially loves like creature features. He's the same way with me. That's where I got my taste from, is my father. And I sent him this because I haven't heard about it until today. Send him over. We're gonna watch it actually when he gets when I get back home to Tennessee. We're gonna go have a movie night one night. But I was like, I bet you that's
should,
a stunt.
man. It's a fun film.
Yeah, I'm on your IMDb. I was like,
yeah, we actually had to. We had to like paint out all the truss that you could see in the sky, just in that shot later on in post, because we did have some stunt gear up there. Because that guy would fall off, and then eventually that skinwalker jumps off on the wire as well, and so that was it was a night of stunts. There was a lot of stunts in that film, a lot. It's a lot of creature effects that Jim Beinke, who's an amazing special effects creature designer and creator, did for this film. It was awesome working with him. Good friend of mine.
Wow. I love the idea. It's the aspect of trying to sit here and search for monsters, and you turn around and now you're actually really monster hunting over there. I have not seen the film. All I've seen is the trailer, and I got to watch it off IMDb. I'm actually very excited, looking forward. I've been trying to, like I said, today after watching, like, send this over to my father because this is right up our alley. We talk about horror movies all the time. Now, here's what I'm curious about. We've seen a lot of demon movies. We've seen a lot of vampire movies. What made you pick the Skinwalker? I'm just curious. Was that your creative decision on the Skinwalker? Because I love the idea, especially I had a background. We did a haunt attraction one time. We did Wendigos. That's a Native American. It's similar to Skinwalkers. And once I saw Skinwalker, I was like, this
I
man
love
knows.
Wendigo. Yeah.
So, what made you pick a Skinwalker? Was that your decision?
Yeah, it was. So I love Escape from Horrorland, the video game by R.L. Stine, and I think that DreamWorks was a part of it as well. And there's that really inspired me as a child when I was really young, and into kind of being a fan of the horror genre and world, and so I kind of want, like, this being a found footage kind of concept, this first person perspective that you kind of feel and as you play the game. There was a lot of that I drew from that in some respects, especially I was just like, listen, I want a werewolf. I've always been a huge fan of werewolves, and so I wanted to, basically, because this movie happens in California. Skinwalkers are more prevalent here and more appropriate than just a random werewolf, and so it just seemed like it would just kind of fit in better, and also it was exciting to me to kind of explore the Native American lore and kind of interpret it in my own way, and that's kind of what I came up with. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
So, in other words, what is Monster Project?
The Monster Project is a found footage feature horror film that is about a group of filmmakers, especially, or aspiring filmmakers, that decide to start a YouTube channel where they create a lot of fake monster sightings to generate views, and then they just decide to just try and find some real monsters to interview, just to see if they can actually find any real monsters just for fun, but knowing deep inside that it's probably going to end up being fake. But turns out that when they actually interview them in this creepy old abandoned location that they decide to rent for an evening, turns out that these creatures are actually real, and then it turns into a nightmare scenario for them throughout the rest of the night.
Let me ask you this. It says on IMDb. I have to go off IMDb. I have no prior information off of you as an individual. I'm sorry for that. But were you the creative and the producer, like the creator of the Monster Project? Is that question?
I wrote it, I directed it, and I produced it. So I was the leader of that film. Yeah.
He was the big man of this creation. So yeah, that's really cool.
It was a long. I came up with the idea in 2012 or 2013, and it took us 3 years to get the financing for it. We shot it for a very low amount of money. The post production ended up costing almost as much as what we spent to shoot it.
Sorry, that was Ghostface. We had Ghostface call.
No worries.
He's calling again. I'm so sorry. Let me just cut that up.
And yeah, so and then we ended up in 2017.
We're all
you good? Go ahead.
Okay, so can you kind of go back a little bit? You said it took 3 years to get the funding, and then we had a phone call.
Sure. Yeah, no, we came up with the idea back in 2012 or 2013. I forget which one it was. Me and Philip Siebel, who was a good friend of mine, we were working on Delusion together. Phil was, I think, just a production assistant at the time, and I was general manager / operations director, and and I came up with the idea. I really, because I've always been in film. I'd done a few commercials back then already, and I really wanted to do a feature, and so it was coming up with an idea that was affordable, and I really liked the film The Hamiltons from 8 Films to Die For. It was a film about there's a found footage film about a family of people that are it was a pretty depressive film, but ends up in the end the twist is, spoilers alert, is that they're a family of vampires, and I kind of came up with the idea of, hey, what if we did a film about people that just want to interview monsters, and it'd be great for marketing value if we had not just vampires, but 3 different types of monsters: a demon, a vampire, and a werewolf or a skinwalker.
That's crazy.
Just marketing, in the marketing sense, it made sense. And then also it seemed like we could do it for cheap, especially if I managed to get Jim Beinke, who I had worked with on Delusion for a few years, as well as a special effects lead, to create all. And then he hates found footage films with a deep passion. He just despises them. But he read the script and immediately said, "Listen, I'm not only going to join your team, but I'll do it for free." And then he jumped on board as an executive producer on top of just doing the special effects. And at that point, it was like basically, okay, green light. We just need to find enough money to shoot it. And so I wrote the script for an original location, which was where Delusion had happened the first 2 years. And then the owner sold it to a new owner, and so I had to find a new property, which delayed us an extra 2 years or so, and we need to find more money, and then we ended up shooting where we end. And so I had to rewrite the whole script also for a new location because the script was very location dependent. So that kind of changed things a little bit. So it went from being, the original vision was supposed to be very scary and terrifying and very gritty and dark and gruesome to something more fun and less terrifying. So that's kind of like because of the years that went by and the location changed, the vibe kind of changed in the script. But I'm happy with how it ended, turned out in the end. Just a few kind of vision changes happened in between.
Well, I love, first off, that's a hell of pulling out an ace at a poker game. Sitting there, I want this guy to do my makeup. I'm gonna do it for free. Your special effects. Excuse my French, but the first that's lucky. But what I was going at is like, have you experienced anything with a cryptid or some type of beast that had also add some inspiration? I was wondering because you're like, we're gonna search for these beasts. Has he seen something in the woods? Have you been camping? You seen Bigfoot or something? I want to see a little inspiration between that.
I don't think so. Like more in regards to like I don't want to say like the word ghost because it always sounds stupid, but kind of like presence and stuff like that. I feel like I felt things like that a few times before. So, and I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead franchise. So anything that's supernatural, always that's the kind of horror that I like. Supernatural horror. First of all, because I love the idea that, hey, you know what? So if there are ghosts or other supernatural entities, that means that there is life after death. And so, being younger, that comforted me. And so that's why I found supernatural horror comforting and exciting. So
That's
that was my reason for doing supernatural horror.
In this segment, we're talking about timing. We're talking about scaring in film. What is your process like when you do your horror films? What is that? Could you walk us through that process?
Sure. I guess I'll talk more about the Monster Project. I did another feature film called Deadlist that was much lower budgets, even though Monster Project is on the low budget level. But let's talk more about the Monster Project.
What is the low budget?
It's funny, like most of the ideas that I usually have, it's more about the setup for the first half and like the story and like kind of like the build up. And then the second half is just chaos. So, and then after that, it's more about managing the chaos and finding some rhythm to establish some silence beats and some character development or some more suspense to then have the jump scares or have some tension and thrilling kind of sequences where again the characters are escaping or trying to fight whatever threat they're facing. So I think it's always about suspending the moment as much as possible and kind of tricking the audience to think something's going to come from this angle or using sound. I'm a huge lover of sound, so I do a lot of sound design. I did a lot of sound design for Monster Project, and I did all the sound design as you stated for Delusion. So sound is a huge resource for me when it comes to creating scares, creating tension. So I love to use sound as a tool as well.
Absolutely. Like, even in haunted houses, we take with sound. That's very important with that. So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, let's say I see you also did some writing with what was it's Decrypted or not Decrypted? It is Decoding. You did a TV show recently. It was 2021 for Roku, one of the lead writers.
Cypher.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I couldn't pull the word out.
Oh, you're good.
How is it like working with on a film? The difference between
the Cypher?
Yes. The difference between like an action movie and a horror movie when it comes to creating, cutting, and bringing to life something that instead of just being action packed, it's also scary and building intensity for a scene.
Sure. Cypher. So I was working very closely with the director and creator of Cypher when I was writing it. So it was, I think that the rhythm was very dependent on his vision for it and how he liked to work as a director. And so it was very just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And always kind of leaving a question, it's funny. You would answer a question and then leave the scene with another question before going to the next. So for that sort of like cop kind of like thriller show or crime shows, more about answering a question while creating two more questions at the end of each scene. And so there's more questions and more questions. And then as for suspense, it's like every time they get to a scene, then it's what, is there someone there, right? And then what are they looking for? And is there going to be a surprise? And then what could the surprise be? And then you try to put some hints and clues in there during the scene to generate some suspense. So that's, I guess, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's kind of like, just do it. You just write whatever feels natural on the spot. Yeah.
Real quick question. How was it creating story? A story is a huge part of entertainment for film and movies. What is your process like in creating a horror story? And is storytelling has a huge impact on scaring, on the timing of scaring?
Sure. So for horror, I think that the real horror or threat in horror films comes from characters that are experiencing fear in their own personal lives. I feel that also is applicable in real life. So when someone's going through a traumatic situation or is going through something very difficult, that negative energy that surrounds them attracts heavier negative energy, and I think it kind of creates this black hole of where this person has a hard time climbing out of it, and that's where outside people in real life and in films, right, tend to try and come and help to dig them out of this hole. But the deeper the hole gets and the heavier the the trauma or issue that they're going through is, and the harder time they have trying to claw themselves out of this psychological trauma or difficulty that they're going through, the more it attracts negative energy. So I always like to think of that, and what is this this thing that is keeping them back from living a positive or stable life, and then what kind of negative influences can it attract. That's usually how I start, and then after that, then it's about what is the evil entity or this evil figure that is going to, and what's the backstory behind that. And then once you build this backstory and you have it, then you can build the mystery and hint at clues throughout the script or throughout the film, right? That kind of reveal over time what this issue is. And then I always like to have a link between the evil entity and the person that's going through trauma that ends in a face-off towards the end or a resolution.
So how does a filmmaker, editor, director scare the heck out of people with their horror? I mean, we have a lot of enthusiasts that love horror. They love getting scared. They love that thrill. They love that chase. Even we found out that you can lose weight when watching a horror movie. So how can you help us lose weight? Like, what is some of the technical aspects?
Yep. I'm ready to hear it.
In film where you're like, yo, like, how do you do it? What's the cuts like? Like, take us through that process.
I think I'll make you gain weight. I think I'll make you gain weight. If you're terrified, you don't want to leave your home because you watch something utterly terrifying, I mean, listen, I think I sent this to you last night, Willie. There's something that I did, which was like a marketing piece that we did for the Monster Project after we shot Monster Project. It's called Smiling Man. It's an 11 episode like web series that we did. It was part of like an online game that was like a 31 part game where they had to, people would go on this website and have to like answer clues and like do some coding even to like get to the next page. But and you would unlock videos every 3 steps. And so there's 11 episodes. So some like small moments in this 11 part web series called Smiling Man, which is on the Epic Pictures YouTube channel, might not make some sense, but overall it makes sense. And it's a story about Shiori, one of the 3 evil entities, if you might want to call her that, in the Monster Project. That's freaking terrible. I wanted to tackle the Japanese horror genre, and so a lot of it is in Japanese. And Shiori helped me write it, or translate it and write the script, some of it in Japanese. And it's about how it's the prequel to Shiori's character before she comes to the interviews and to become possessed. And I think it's a fantastic, terrifying. That thing is terrifying. The Monster Project's like Goosebumps for grown-ups, right? Smiling Man is, listen, like good luck going to sleep. And I dare you to try
Oh
to watch that,
wow!
because Shiori,
Okay.
Shiori is absolutely terrifying in this. It's almost like the Monster Project was like kind of like a warm-up round for her, and then we went to town on the Smiling Man with almost zero, basically like I think like $3,000 over the course of 2 nights and shot it. And despite the fact that we shot it for near to next no money, there was a lot of prep work that went into it, and it's terrifying. That even me watching it, knowing that I wrote it and created
I gotta
it,
watch
I have a hard
that.
time watching it. And
Yeah,
it's basically a Ouija. It's about Kokori-san, which is the Ouija board equivalent in Japan, and that's how she attracts this entity.
Oh,
And my
maybe I
boy
won't be
Louis
watching
Tan,
that.
who's the lead actor in Mortal Kombat. My boy Louis Tan, who's the lead actor in Mortal Kombat, is actually in the first episode, and we actually Shiori told me, I'll tell you a crazy story. So when we were shooting it, Shiori's like, Victor, I do not want to mess with this thing. I was like, Shiori, I just had someone from an art department create this board. It's all make believe. She's like, it doesn't matter. Like they're all created, but in Japan, every time someone messes with this Kokori-san, somebody dies, and sadly, one of our lead actors in this web series passed away a month after we.
Oh my God, Victor, hold up. First of all, I just want to say this topic is spot on because Kat had a childhood trauma about using the Ouija board, and I talked about this to even the young people. It's like, and even Gerard, he messed with it, so he had some relations to it. I'm the person that I listen to my elders, and I grew up in a church, and so there's some things that you don't want to touch because it opens up portals.
Right.
And that is one. And for her to make that statement to you and say, "Listen, who cares of who created? I don't care. The art department. If it was someone else.
Same thing.
You were still doing the things that open up a portal, and that's crazy that someone had to pass away. Was that? How was? I mean, oh my God! First of all, that stunned me. That's
horrifying.
Me. So, were you guys really?
It is horrifying. It was devastating too because he was so nice. But yeah, it's just unbelievable that it happened, and I didn't find out until like 2 months after he passed. I think it was Shiori that told me or someone else. But it was I couldn't believe it. And it was crazy because that was the one character I could not find anyone for that role. It took me to find a freaking actor that could pull it off for some reason. It's crazy. Really sad.
I have literally spicy tequila right by me. I'm about to start drinking because this is stories. I want to pick your head. I'm going to have you more on the show. We're going to talk more, and I'm going to have you come on the show more often. But man, what a story to even have to experience. That's crazy. That's crazy. So Smiling Man is something that will give us the creeps. I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this series.
Oh no.
Yeah, so be careful with Kokori-san. Don't mess with that.
Oh, don't say that because then I want to watch it. I just text my daughter about it and I said, hey, we got to watch this. This guy's telling me all this stuff and now I'm like,
yeah,
it's bringing up some shit from my past.
It's crazy. This is like a Japanese Ouija board.
The lights are flashing at my place right now.
I just seen that. Stop it. Oh my God. You're going to scare me.
So you played with this. I'm going to call it a Ouija.
Oh my God,
board.
I got
called something else. Has anybody else on the call? I played with a Ouija.
Oh my God,
board.
what's going on with him?
Lights.
Stop it. You're freaking me out.
Real happening right here. Yep, that's scary. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're freaking me out.
It's crazy you said that because I resonate with that story you're saying because we played with a Ouija board before, and I'm saying not 2 months later, and she was a young girl. She died too. Like she lit it. I told you about that, and he hasn't yelled at me for we were out one day playing with a Ouija board on train tracks at 2 a.m. He yelled at me, and I'm not lying. 2 months later, if not less, she's gone.
Wow.
So it's crazy you say that. Now I'm scared to death a little bit. My heart's a little racing. Is something going to be following me the rest of my life for playing with that Ouija board?
I already got shit following me.
I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks from The Lion and Wizard of Oz. So let's talk about a little bit about live immersive events. You've been in the immersive events game for a very long time. You produced immersive events like I have. How is that? How is that different? Look at you on that. Look at you, boy.
Look at you.
Dude,
Nice.
swagger. Look, the swagger. So you just like. First of all, how was that experience? Being on the red carpet.
Oh, that was fun. That night, me and Gerard Butler just went to town. It was a fun, fun. I went to the red carpet and then went to a few after parties afterwards. It was great. It was a fun time.
So getting back to the Delusions and even the haunted LA Haunted Hayride, how is that experience? And what's the difference between that producing those live immersive events and producing film?
Sure. So I'd say that like they're similar in some ways, but I just want to clarify that John Braver is the writer and creator of Delusion, and I've acted as like a producer or associate producer on certain shows, but most of the time more as like I would sit down with him and we'd go to the locations because every year it's a new location, and then we together would walk around and discuss creative ideas, come up with characters, come up with a story. And so I would help him on the creative level, basically creating those shows and coming up with ideas. And then after that, it's more about execution and constantly just kind of staying with him on the creative process. After that, it's more, again, like executing. And so working with the art department on the ideas. And then my role at that point, beyond, all the permitting, all the budget and contracts and dealing with everything else, it's more on the sound level, creating the atmosphere and the world for Delusion, which it's almost like a movie. Basically, where Delusion works like a film in that the fact that like all the it's like it works, it moves forward as a track. So we have like about let's say like 50 or 40 tracks, and the actors, it's like everything's pre-recorded and the actors operate within those tracks, but there's room for immersive improv, since some of those tracks are basically on a loop and there's nothing, but scenes or epic scenes, then everything is kind of like orchestrated to the pre-recorded sound design that I've done. And so that's how Delusion works in a way. And we have like a lot of animatronics and a lot of like special effects, projection effects sometimes. It's a super fun show. I love Delusion. And then the Haunted Hayride is very different. It's more your traditional haunt, right? Like which you guys are very familiar with, obviously. And that's really fun. That was more operating on that level in a more logistical way, just overseeing the entire production over there and making sure that everything stays on track and that people are happy, right? And that the experience, the flow of everything works, everything remains safe. And that just basically just managing the entire event, which is a big event. We have up to like 8,000 people, right, on busy nights, and I think just over 200 staff, actors, etc. So it's a lot of people.
How are you scaring people on a hayride?
He said, "How do you scare people on a hayride?"
Because we had I believe they brought it down from LA here in Nashville, over in Nashville, and let me tell you, that was trash. I did not enjoy it at all.
So what happened was, I don't know if you know this or not, but the 13th Floor group brought the Nashville Haunted Hayride, which is supposed to resemble or mirror LA Haunted Hayride. And if you're in California, LA Hayride is now a staple. It's at the Griffith Park. You guys kill at that job. Melissa, who founded it, she did an amazing job. And now
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. I have technical mishap during live broadcast.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah. And I do want to mention actually 13th Floor. I love working with 13th Floor. It's such an awesome team of people there. It's a dream working for these guys. So just want to state that. Like, freaking love these guys. The whole team is amazing.
Too. But what they did when they brought Nashville Haunted Hayride was such a mishap because again with these attractions, it's like how can we make it, bottle it up, and transport it to another location. And when they did in Nashville, it missed the mark so bad. And here's the thing: I'm from California, right? I came out from California straight to Nashville, and we went to go see the show, and it was nothing like the LA Hayride. It was a misstep, and I think they did it for 2 years, and they realized that no one was showing up, and Nashville was just not having it. They're like, mm-mm. And they didn't get it. And not only that, but I was invited to the show. They gave us free tickets, and Gerard was with me. You were with me on that experience.
I went twice, and I got free tickets both times. In my opinion, first off, 13 Floors, I love this shit. They do a great job. This is such a big miss. It wasn't even worth the gas money, in my opinion. I was so disappointed. And the first time I went, I think it was like, they're like, we're closing in 25 minutes, which it is what it is. That's on me. Second time I went, was like, they kind of had guests there. Like, this is still a miss. It was not worth my time. It's such a miss. So, how are y'all fixing that over there at the LA Hayride?
Well, no. Let me clarify before you even ask that question. It's not. They don't even have that issue. They don't. Not even. It doesn't exist.
They don't have it in LA. Yeah.
You understand that when I went to being in California and seeing the show, it's completely different night and day. They didn't even have the issues that Nashville had. It doesn't work. I mean, it works in California. It just didn't work in Nashville, and that's what it is.
Right.
But the thing is, talking about timing and what is when you scare on a hayride, what's the difference between scaring on a moving vehicle versus scaring walking during a live interactive play? Yeah, what is that? What's the difference between that? Because you've been behind the scenes directing it and producing it all and helping with it.
No, I have, of course, yeah. Listen, like I'll answer my own opinion of it. I think that when it comes to haunts, it's all about using corners and also grabbers, right? Thinking that, hey, this scary might come from here, and then it comes from this side instead, right? Somewhere unexpected that you wouldn't have thought of. So that's number one. And then for comparing haunt scares to something like more like Delusion, which is immersive entertainments in the horror genre. Delusion, it's a lot more about the vibe and the feeling, right? It's because you're usually led by a protagonist, and so it's more about the story and the environment and just the general feeling. And it takes place over an hour long, right? So it's a lot longer of a time span instead of like a haunt, which is like usually between 3 minutes to 7 minutes max, right? So Delusion doesn't focus so much on jump scares, more so rather than like immersing you into this world and characters, and then providing on occasion some jump scares or some terrifying moments where you get split up from your group by yourself, right? Things happen like that, and that's a lot more right, traumatizing. But I think it's just it depends. I think it's very like for haunts, it's very dependent on the art department, on the art director. They're the ones who really get to make those choices, along with the performance manager. Those two are very instrumental in creating those scares.
Yeah, it's so funny because like when I go to a hayride, you're with your friends, you're with the groups of people, and you're riding in a vehicle. But that vehicle could become a safety blanket, especially for me. I've seen it all. But going to a live interactive where you're walking, and like what I love about Delusions is that the aesthetics of the building is real. It's that you guys are. I think you guys had like a graveyard. You guys rented out a graveyard. Was it last year or something like that? So it's like the landscape.
We built one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the landscape of what you guys do is so authentic and real. So it really transforms, I guess, into that actual feeling or that actual scenario or situation. You know what I mean? And so I love that. And so if I had a preference, what will I enjoy? It would be going to a live interaction storytelling and being led by someone, and then getting these corners, getting these these scare tactics happening, because to me that's just more frightening. I think Larry Bones was on the show the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying like being in a haunted house by yourself is more scary than in a haunted house with friends. And I'm like, yes, I can contest to that. So how important is it?
It depends,
Oh, Like, why you say that? Why you say that? Why you say it depends?
I mean, listen, like, you know, even though I was general manager for the Haunted Hayride, I went through some of those attractions a few times, and they get me, man. They get me. They really do.
Nice. Oh, I mean, well, the thing is,
And as you know, I'm a horror creator, so the fact that they get me is they're doing a good job.
and
You're
that
doing a great job.
it goes to not only just the animatronics, the lights, the fog, but also that scare actor too that understand timing. How important is timing when you're scaring?
Hey, it's very important, right? And we try to like pump only like a certain amount of people right through in increments, right? So that this way these people will get their, you know, because if you have just a constant flow of people, then people know that a scare is coming, which is something that you kind of experience in like busier, like if you go to Universal Horror, you know, Horror Nights, right, or something like that, you know, when they get packed on a weekend, for example, which can happen at the Hayride. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but we really try hard not to have it happen. So I think that limiting the amount of people that go through allows actors to pick the right moments, and they can do like 2 scares per group, right? And they're staggered.
Right.
And I think that the fact, like, I love when actors follow you because you don't know it, you don't see it, right? And then they get you again. You think it's over, and then they come back, right? So I think that's awesome.
Even when they breathe on the back of your neck, you know, one monster came up by me and breathed on my naps, and I was like, "Whoa, you gonna be that close? Comment, please."
He's breathing close enough. You can smell that Little Caesars.
You can smell the Little Caesars and
I'm done, you guys.
And the Red Bull. But switching gears back to film, if the timing is not right in the film and in the feature, right? How do you fix that? How do you adjust? How do you pivot?
In post? I don't know. Like, for example, I'll say like one mistake. One mistake that I made on the Monster Project that I kind of regret now is when it came to some of the scenes with the demon. There's a lot of static interference that I added in post, and some of it we needed to add because there were some things that needed to be fixed that we just couldn't fix without adding some interference in like just a few moments. But so much of it because I liked that it was creating some jump scares with audio and terrifying visuals, but I did it too much. And so there is such a thing as doing something too much, you know. So something to keep in mind.
Wow. So in live immersive events, we don't have post. And I love it in film, you know, especially like what we shot in 2015. It was like, oh, we're cleaning. Y'all made it so good during the Travel Channel pitch. And just so you know, the pitching is back on the table. So we're going to be like pitching again. But doing it in an immersive event, you don't have a post. You don't have another redo. I mean, you have other shows. How do you fix the timing in a live event with, you know, the creative team or the scare actors? How does that work for you?
Sure. So you have what we call like blackouts, right? And they're staged throughout each haunt, and they kind of analyze what's going on. And then you have a supervisor of each haunt that also kind of keeps an eye on the creative and on the timing of things and on the performance, right? And so each haunt kind of has their own manager, and then those managers respond to the performance manager, and that's kind of like how the hierarchy structure works out, so that, you know, everybody can communicate and constantly improve and constantly explore new ideas. If new ideas don't work, then hey, go, you know, abandon that idea, you know, go back to what works. And so that's kind of how that all works.
And then how do one check on that, I guess, or to monitor that? If you're a new attraction or you're a new producer for the newbies that are trying to produce an event, how do they monitor the time? How do they make sure that the show is staying consistent to the vision and consistent in the scares? How do they monitor that? Monitor that.
I mean, listen, I'm a huge fan of security cameras, right? Because you can see what's going on. So that's something that I try to have as much as possible, and that's something that we're going to be hopefully implementing into the Hayride more this year. But I think that gives you a very good idea, especially if you organize them in sequence of the flow of the reaction to scares and how things are going, moving forward. and being reacted to. And then if not, then I think that, the creative manager, right, the director or creator should always keep an eye on things and be in there to see how it's, going down, as well as, like I said, like blackouts or performance managers and things like that. So it's always about being, I think, like being as involved as possible,
Right.
and exploring new ideas and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's a trial and error, right? Just
Right.
doing the trial and error a few times until you figure out what works.
It's so funny. When I first produced my first event in California, I threw it up, I trained, and I walked away. And someone told me, they said, "Hey, Willie, we've been to the show, we've been watching, but there's no actors in this room, or it's not scary anymore." That's one thing that happens, and producers like, "Well, what do you mean? There's people here," and how do one fix that? Because for me, I had to literally get off my black butt and walk my attraction and literally like look and like what's going on, or and it's and fix it as I go. And then it got to the point where, because we have multiple days, most haunts have about 15-day plus. And then it got to the point where they got sneaky. And I'm like, we know when Will's walking in, and they made sure that they were there. But then they
Right.
left. So it's very important to walk. It's very important to I try to disguise myself. I put a hoodie on, change my outfit, and then walk in. But how can one make sure that their show stays so solid? What are some of the tricks of the trades that you would do to make sure, hey, we're family, let's make sure we, keep it bond together? I don't know if I asked that question before, but what are some of the things that you do when you walk your grounds to make sure you're not, your cast doesn't, remember or know that you're coming through, or what are some of the things that you can do to kind of inspire someone to stay in the scene and not try to walk away or, drop the ball really when it comes to their scene?
That's not something that I do personally. That's something that the haunt manager does to each haunt, and regularly throughout the night walks through it and sees what's going on. So they do, they do like full walkthroughs constantly. Sometimes with audience groups, like they sneak in and
Right.
without being seen, or sometimes by themselves as well. And so that gives them a good idea of, hey, are certain actors slacking, or certain actors not where they're supposed to be doing, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or not where they're supposed to be. And so that keeps them in check, right? I think that something that is not talked about enough is also giving them proper breaks, right? Like I think I always
Right.
also believe that actors should always have proper breaks, proper access to water, proper access to snacks, because that keeps your crew and cast happy, right? So that's always important to take care of your cast and crew as much as you can. And then also, I'm a big guy when it comes to safety. I always want to make sure that safety is first, and so always trying to keep an eye on, how to maximize or eliminate as much as you can the possibility for injuries, right? So that's always
Right.
something I like to keep an eye out for,
I love that
and
that
constantly looking to improve my skills in that department.
Right, I love that you said that, because having things for them to do. Then if you give them bathroom breaks and waters, then really, to be honest, they're not going to leave their scene. If they feel like they have everything there and there's that's offered for them to do their stuff, they will not leave their scene. So thank you for bringing that
Yeah,
up.
so like for each taunt, we have like a little area, for them to when they take a break, they don't have to go all the way back to base camp. I mean, obviously, Los Angeles Haunted Hayride is a bigger, site, right? So we have a very large ground. So we, each haunt has its own kind of break room, right, that we create, and then there they have everything that they need, to take a quick 20-minute break or whatnot, and then get back to it. And we do it in cycles, right? So like a few actors will take a break so that the haunt can keep going, then you cycle it through.
Yeah. So at this point in time, I want you to let us know what is your next project. How can we find you? And a little tip of timing in scaring. So for any newbies that's coming up, that you can give them a takeaway. What is that? So you have the floor. You ready? Here you go.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'll start with the first question, then remind me of the other two after. So what am I working on, or what are my some things that I want to do in the future coming soon? In terms of immersive experiences, I do have one that I am developing, and it's got some elements of horror, but it focuses on the theme of aliens and UFOs, which hasn't been done yet. And so that's something that I'm looking forward to doing, and I've got a very strong vision for it. So I'm looking forward to hopefully launching that over sometime in the next 2 years. We'll see. And then in regards to film, I've got one in particular that is in the works, hoping to shoot that in a year, maximum 2 years from now, but it's looking like sometime next year. And it is not horror, but it is, I can't talk about it yet, unfortunately, but it is of a pretty large budget. So hoping that it comes through. That would be a pretty sweet film for everybody to see, for all ages. And then what was the other questions?
The other question was, what's a good takeaway for a young film actor or a young immersive event producer that you can give them? What tips can you give them in starting their project?
I'd say make sure you've got a strong vision. Think about how are you going to market this? Why is this appealing for people to buy tickets, right, to come and see? I think that's always the number one question that I ask myself is is this going to work, and why is it going to work, and who's going to want to come and see this, and how do I tailor this specific event or idea or film to this target audience that I'm targeting, right? And then after that, it's all about planning, plan, right? From your script to the logistics to if it's a live experience to how it's going to flow, right? What's the process going to be from step A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, and make sure you have a strong budget and that I'm huge on logistics, right? So that's been my main focus. So it's making sure that things can operate in a safe and efficient manner, and that they're tailored for people that would want to go see this type of experience.
Awesome.
Comment.
Awesome. I thank you so much for the time and for you to come out. I really do appreciate you. What are you doing?
I'm not even on the bed.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Victor. There you are.
There he is.
Okay. He's gone again. Victor, if you're listening, I just want to say thank you so much for the time. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your insight. We're going to talk to you more. And we're so excited that you are strong, young, creative, killing the game in California. Oh, there he is. We're going to wait and see if he comes on. It's been a major lag. I don't know. Is it raining in California?
No, it's really cloudy though. It's super cloudy.
That's probably what it is. But we just want to say thank you to Victor and the time.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you so much. And so there's more after this brief break.
Get ready to experience the excitement of the haunt industry. Fear Expo Live 2023 is a must-attend event for pro haunt attraction owners, theme parks, family entertainment centers, and home haunters. With a packed lineup of exhibitors, innovative products and services, and expert-led classes, this is the place to be inspired, educated, and entertained. So don't wait. Grab your tickets today and join us for the ultimate haunt experience. At Fear Expo, you'll have the chance to see the latest and greatest products and services from over 100 vendors in the haunt industry, with everything from animatronics to costumes, makeup, and more. You'll find what you need to kickstart your new haunt attraction or take your existing business to the next level. Attending Fear Expo and HauntCon is easy and affordable with two options, general admission or VIP admission. You can choose the level of access that's right for you. General admission for just $25. General admission to Fear Expo and HauntCon includes access to both days of the National Trade Show, access to all general admission classes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as well as access to the Friday night music event, the amazing Fear Expo Costume Ball, and special discounts offered by vendors on the show floor. VIP admission for those looking for a more premium experience. VIP admission is the way to go for just $65. VIP admission includes all of the benefits of general admission, plus access to the Friday Fear Expo networking and celebration event. VIP access to all HauntCon Haunt Master classes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A VIP entrance to the awards show. Daily access to the VIP lounge with snacks, drinks, and private meetings. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets now and join industry leaders, exhibitors, and fans at the 2023 Fear Expo and HauntCon National Trade Show. You don't want to miss this incredible event.
Hold on for a second. So, hey, Kat, real
Yeah.
quick, before we let our another guest in, is he coming in now or? Okay, so we're
Yeah,
just going.
he's about to come in right now.
We're gonna jump right to him. So this is a good buddy of mine. So we're gonna skip it, but this is a good buddy of mine that I'm so excited to bring on. He's been with me for a very long time. I had him the age of 13. I had him underneath.
13.
Yeah, and so we're going to be talking about scaring and timing as a scare actor, and he's a great scare actor. I trained him, y'all. I trained him myself, and he is one that is something to watch out for because from his scares to his talent, even to his sliding, he is amazing. Is he in the studio right now? But if not, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do his intro. You see it?
Can I do your intro and his?
Sure, go ahead. Do ours.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
Do it.
I was excited to read this.
All right, go for it.
All right. Willie May has been a haunter for 22 years and a veteran in the game. He became a haunter because it provided a safe place for him to create, produce, and learn the art of scares and what true fear is. Creating and producing some of the world's most anticipated haunts, Willie wants to continue growing the industry and giving haunters a safe place to be themselves. James Hackstrom has been a haunter for 14 years. A friend's suggestion got him to sign up for a volunteer role in the most talked about community event. The guy who was producing it had an infectious energy to create a place for people like him to scare the hell out of people. And he was black. And he started scaring with Willie May and didn't turn back.
What'd you say?
I think I read his. If I'm not mistaken. You said it was an intro for me.
It was. I don't know what did you say.
Did you just read all of that? What you did?
You know,
back to the Bible.
This is why I tell them. I say, look, go into the Bible the day before and make sure you read it. I don't do this on purpose. I stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning working on stuff. You literally said, and he's black. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling the
That's what it says.
You guys,
I can't with you.
Check James and I out at during our thing. Check it out.
Wow.
What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my God.
Wait, so what happened there? What was that all about? What did we do there, James? Everyone, hey, James.
What's going on?
You got applause and everything. Welcome to the
All right,
studio.
man. Enough with the noise makers, man. He be doing that stuff all the time. What's going on, Willie?
Look, I don't care about the noise. I like to make I kick in the door and make some noise. But hey, man, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on the show and talk about scaring as well. We've been doing it for so long, right? How long has this been since we've been connected?
Man.
2007.
Was it 2000? So like 14, 15 years?
Yes.
15 years?
When you was what, 13?
13. Yep.
Yep. And you lied on your application, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I lied for him, remember?
Yeah, I was supposed to be 16 and I was 13, and somehow Willie still let me. I think we might have been short on monsters and still.
So really, I have 2 weeks to put on this attraction, and it was 20,000 square feet. And I remember I was sweating bullets, you guys. I was sweating bullets trying to get actors to know that I need if they want to work volunteer, please come in. And no one was coming in, and
The stress of a volunteer, man, is getting volunteers is tough.
good volunteer too. So I remember you just skating by, and you walked in, and I literally you don't judge a book by its cover, y'all. That's one lesson. And I remember him coming in. It's like, what is this? And I felt like, you're gonna be a pest. I was like, you're gonna be.
You knew it.
Because you're skating by, and this was skating was a huge thing, and skaters, the skaters were skaters in California. And I was like, oh, here we go. And he, what is this? And I said, haunted house. Can I sign up? And I'm like to myself, like, dang it, he's a skater. I don't know if I need a skater, but I was like, you know what? Here, sign up. Here's the application, and you did. And one thing that was so great about you showed back up, ready to work and ready to do it. So, how was that experience for you?
It was crazy, man, because it was the first thing I've ever done. Like it's like somewhat of work at 13, volunteering, doing stuff like that, and then it was crazy because my mom was pregnant at the time, so she couldn't come get me and stuff like that. So at 13, I was leaving an event at 12, 1 in the morning, and skating home and doing it all over again the next day. So
what a great mom I was.
Yeah, but no, it was a crazy experience, but it was awesome. It was something that made me not want to be in trouble and have something to look forward to and have fun and learn. It was a crazy experience. That's why I stuck with it.
It's so funny about sticking with it. Some people can't stick with it. Some people are curious to scare, and then they the first week they're done. They're like, nope.
Lose interest.
I was so dedicated. I was late one time, and somebody took my costume. And I kicked him out of it. He was right there. You remember that?
Yeah, it was so funny. He was so good, and there's a rule: if you're late, you don't get your spot. That was my first rule, and so he showed late, and I realized, I'm like, why is he late? And then you were like, that's my costume. That's my costume. And you looked at me and goes, that's my costume. And I'm like, but he's so good. Go ahead, get the costume back. Go ahead. You just go ahead. And one of the things that made you stick out to me was the simple fact that, what was that look for?
A little favoritism right there, but I can't blame it. Hey.
Listen, at that time, when you have a good scare actor and your show is on the verge of, in the hands of scare actors that may not care like you care, right? They may not show up, or the show may suffer.
Mm-hmm. You had to trick people to get there. Like we had Rubio sponsored. I don't know if you know what food, some food places. We needed to get people.
Yes,
down, right?
I remember that.
You know that what was it, that farm commercial? You got to be quicker than that. That's and I had Caesar's pizza on the hook. I was like, you got to be quicker than that. Come on in. But yeah, you guys. You stayed, and one of the things that made you stand out for me was the fact that out of all the kids, I think we had 30 to 60 actors at a time. It fluctuated big time. But out of all of them, he came back and said, how can I be better?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that conversation?
I remember that. I remember you guys telling me that.
James, when you were like, how can I be better? And it threw me, it knocked my socks off, because out of all these kids that's coming and going, he was the only one that came back and was like, I want to be like, that question showed me that you had a passion and you wanted to succeed in this. And then that's when I said, all right, let's go. Yeah, what was the question I think I told you, if you stick with me, it was something like some crazy movie reference, like, if you stick with me, you'll see the world. I took my back.
It was crazy too, because he may have thought he was just saying some stuff right there, but my first 6 years as a haunter is probably one of the crazy experiences of my life. It's crazy. Like we went from volunteering to working with famous people like that. It was crazy.
Wait.
Yeah. Talk about that. What was that? What was that experience like?
Well, what experience are you talking about? Which one do you want to reference? There's a lot of them.
There is a lot of them.
Give me a year. Give me a year. What do you want to do? Which one? Give me something after 2000. I guess between 2010 and 2013. I guess
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
When we went and scared in what we did Balboa Park, right? Or Balboa Trails, I mean, and then we did Hard Rock again, right? Back to back.
Like that.
Back to back.
Second year.
Let's do 2010, first time out at Halloween. I mean, Hard Rock, Halloween.
Oh, when we were tearing it up, and that was so it was so crazy that it was my first time wearing face paint, where I just took my mask off, where I was barefaced. So as a monster, people don't really understand that when you don't have that cover, people you can get embarrassed. You feel like you can get a little nervous. You don't know what you're gonna do. And I froze up my first time doing that. It was kind of crazy to experience that, but Willie snapped me out of that and went down and had one of the best performances of my life at Hard Rock. And
it was so funny because when he asked for makeup, he's like, "Well, I want to do makeup," and I was like, "A prosthetic?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Not a mask?" No. And I'm like, if you guys look to the upper right corner, that's upper left, you see him in the makeup, but then to the right of it, that was his last mask at Toxic Terrors. And and to the right of that picture on top, you see the upper right is Wally.
Right here, boy.
Yeah. That was up the midway on the concourse.
I ain't seen a picture like that in years, man. That's crazy.
But the crazy thing is he went from mask to makeup, and I told him, I said, "No, you don't want to do this. You don't want to."
I went from Maze Monster to what you say, an elite monster outside entertaining people. From mask to no mask within 3 years, like that.
Right, and I was like, "You're not ready." He's like, "I am ready." I said, "Dude, if you go out to this event and you don't give your all, and you freeze up because you don't have a mask, that's that your safety blanket to hide you, and you freeze up on me while these people are paying us, I'm gonna be upset with you."
And you know what makes it worse? That he had to explain all that, and that's what's in my head. I'm like, "Oh, well, now I didn't know. I didn't think about it like that." And then
you have to experience it in order to understand it. So the first night we were at that time we were consulting and people were hiring us. I've done away, you got these young scare actors now that would jump from haunt to haunt to haunt, and I have a little biased thought process on it because I don't believe that scare actor should jump from haunt to haunt to haunt. I call them a haunt hoe.
Yeah.
If you know me, I'm gonna call you a haunt hoe because you don't have no loyalty and you don't have a covering.
Right.
You don't
the
have
difference between jumping from team to team and consulting. It's two different things.
And we were consultants, and we were a group of hired scare actors for major brands to hire us. That's who we were, and so we kind of created that famous scare actor kind of vibe. People will see it, but you went to this one event and you froze up on me, and I was like, "Dude,
I don't remember which one that was,
but you understood the difference, and then you said, "Okay, I gotta just push." What made
that was at Kathy's? That was at Kathy's, right? At her event, right?
What made you push to give your all, even though that you didn't have a mask on, your safety blanket was now removed? What made you push? Other than
because you had this unique ability to still try to make me feel comfortable somehow. So even if I froze up, you'd still take over and be my safety blanket. So you kind of put me in a situation where I was like, if he can't keep bailing me out, but the same token, it's like he's there to save me. I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Like there's no reason for me not to continue. So I just pretended like I had a mask on, man, and I just pushed through the shit. Because if not, then we don't get hired next year. We don't get another show. There's not another time to do this again.
There's no please. There's no please.
It's funny,
man. Oh shit.
It's funny you say that about Willie's like safety blanket because he definitely does that, and sometimes a safety blanket can be a negative, but I think he does it when he works with you is a healthy amount because he'll sit there, he'll safety blanket. Here's some options to get. When shit hits the fan, and he's like, this is a shit he needs to wipe off the walls himself. He's gonna make you wipe it off the walls. You sit there, and then want to wipe that off the wall. But let me tell you, it's better for you at the end of it because sometimes we had some times where I'm like, I don't want to wipe that shit off the wall. You could have helped me, and it's like it was a very healthy experience. So, and I relate to your story right there when he's like, because he told me to go back a little bit of the story, like, yeah, this man James, he's like, look, I want to do makeup. I'm like, no, you don't want to do makeup. It's like, I want to do makeup. It's like, fine, don't freeze up because if you freeze up, I'm gonna chew your ass out. I'm like, and I could relate to that story because let me tell you, we've all been in the business like this shit. You gotta wipe the shit off the walls when the shit hits the fan. Sometimes it's your turn to grab that rag, and you're gonna appreciate it better.
And the thing is, with that, man, I was learning that. This is all before I was like, 16. So I was doing all this before I was an adult. So learning all these things. So when we start getting hired for these real huge events like Rob Zombie, Blumhouse, stuff like that. Even going down to scare Rob Dyrdek, I was an adult. I learned everything. So now I'm seeing. So now when we get in front of the big cameras, there ain't no freezing it.
Right.
So going back to the story. What was it like doing Halloween Horror Nights? I mean, excuse me, Hard Rock Halloween as a first timer.
You want me to be honest?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, so I remember we were getting down there. Didn't we almost get towed or something like that?
Wait, hold up. After these messages, why are you picking up my?
hey, I gotta talk about it, man. No, talk about it.
You bit, man.
Look, man. Hey, I didn't say whose car we were in.
Hold on.
I didn't say what car we were in, man. Hold on. Will.
Like that.
Hey, did I not ask if I could be honest? Stop it.
No, don't be honest.
Okay. But look, so it's already crazy getting down there. It's like hectic. I don't know if you guys been downtown San Diego during Halloween time, but it's a mess. So this is 2010, right, Will?
Yep, 2010.
So I'm 16.
Yep.
I'm not even supposed to be in there. I'm not even supposed to be allowed in there.
It's a club.
So what we had to do was let's put some.
Pause for a second. So to give everyone the kind of foreground, I talked to Hard Rock Hotel. They wanted to do a new Halloween party experience, and we spoke, and I was like, listen, Hard Rock, you don't have monsters. Who in their right mind will put monsters in a club atmosphere with liquor and hoochie mamas shaking their, gyrating on the dance floor? Who would do it? We were a street team. And they said, interesting, let's give it a go. And I said, well, this is how much you're going to pay us. And I sold them on the idea. I actually was a young producer, sold them on the idea, and they said, yes, let's do it. So they did. And and there's alcohol, there's lines up the walls.
Drunk people.
And gas lamp in San Diego, there are more than one hotel that turns into a turn up. And so they try to make sure that the experience for each guest is better than the next, right? So how can we make this better? Okay, we're gonna have monsters, right? And so go ahead, James, go ahead, back to your story. Go ahead, piggyback off that.
So like I said, it's already crazy getting down there trying to find parking, and then we walked into the event. So Will's already ahead of the game. Like that's how I always appreciate Will. Will's one of the greatest minds of all time. He thought about it before even getting up there. Let's put some makeup on you before you even get in there. Let's just put you in costume so we don't get you in.
You were 16, right?
Huh?
You were 16.
I was 16. Yeah.
And by the state of California, you cannot have anyone that is not 21 and older in an atmosphere of alcohol. You're just not going to do it. They can lose their license, their liquor license.
Right.
And I knew that they were going to have security. I was like, we're not going to do it. Right. So I said, sit your butt down.
So we walking in there, and I'm getting nervous because I'm like, all right, man, what's about to happen? And then they're like, stick your wrist out. I'm like, okay. And then they put the wristband on. When I get back there, I was like, whew, all right, we in here.
Wait, what? Security guard's like, yo, hey, isn't he? The guy was like, they are talent. This is Scream Team.
Yeah.
The mob, let's go.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Because that was our first paid event.
It was our first major paid event with a major rock horror.
And not even that, we were the first people to do it. So it's a lot of first.
Never been done before. And I knew it was going to be a whole bunch of drunk people. And I worked with drunk people before Scary. And I was like, I need to teach and train them how to work with drunk people. It's very risky for us. And then not only that, I told them, I said, look, in order for them not to stop you and then you're sitting in the car, we're going to put makeup on you now. But still, when you look at that picture, he still looked like a tiny little and so the guys stopped him, and then one of the guys was like, that's Scream Team. And one of the reasons why they said this is because I had a meeting with the producer of Hard Rock, and I said, I want security guards to understand what's going to happen. I need to communicate what's going to happen. We're going to scare the crap out of people. They're going to run, they're going to scream, they're going to drop their alcohol, and we may slip. But I need every monster have a security guard on them.
I ain't gonna lie. They did a hell of a job. I mean, if we needed somebody out, they were taking them out. We had security with us everywhere. Wherever we went, they was in the corner, but they was watching us. That was good.
It was so weird. Have your actor have a bodyguard in a way, and someone off and start swinging at us. They literally just went "Boop," and walked. They didn't care because they already had their money.
Yeah.
Right.
But what sad, yes, they were not ready. They literally did not know what to expect. They've been to the event before. They dance, they drink, they see some amazing DJs, but they didn't know what to expect when they walked in, and then they saw us and we dropped drinks. They call us.
I mean, I'm
You know-
talking about like
You know about the penny droppers? We were the penny droppers. We were their alcohol, and their alcohol was like $15 for a cocktail.
as soon as they drop it, what are we saying? No refunds.
No refunds.
Keep it going. Oh, they was pissed. Oh, they was mad.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were assholes. I'm sorry to curse, but we were not.
Oh, fucking curse.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What's up? Me and you need to talk about this because I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You're 16. You're at Hard Rock Cafe. You ain't supposed to be there. You dressed up like a monster. There's hoochie mamas there shaking their goods. And then we know there are going to be some women out there shaking some goods as well. What stories do you want to tell us that you don't think your mama would like to hear? Please go into depth.
Well, no, actually, there was nothing like that.
You know why? Because Will don't put up with that.
That's
That's not what you're there to do.
Because here's the thing too. So when it comes to that type of stuff, I'm not even going to say unfortunately, because fortunately there has to be some professionalism with us, right? So we can't. Since a young, like I've always seen, even like before, like so when we were at Talkative, my second year in 2008, there was like people having sex that were volunteers at the maze and stuff like that. It was cut out, and I see how furious Will would get. So then like Will's like my brother at that point, so it's like I can't make him mad. So at that point, when you put the stuff on, man, all that's out. It's not even a thing to do. Look at his big face over there about to cry. Check him out.
I love that aspect and I respect it so much.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. But
Like, and here's the thing too. So, like, at a young age, like when people see me, they're gonna ask about Will, and then when you see Will, you're gonna ask about me. So we like mirror each other. So we represent each other. We can't do anything faulty to make the other person look bad. So that's just kind of how I took on, like, at a young age, like making sure his image is good. You know?
Wow.
Right.
okay, I got bad respect. I was hoping you'd be like, yeah, man, like I scared this one, like, and she flashed me or something. You know, I was expecting something like that. But you know what?
I mean,
Oh, we see that. I mean, that happened.
We had a scare actor who will stay nameless that thrived off of that at the Hard Rock, if we remember, and he got in trouble and never scared again.
Oh.
He would take the opportunity to scare and grab at the same time. Do we remember who we're talking about?
Phrase. I'm not saying grab, but you know, if you have bigger eyes, you can,
Name the character.
Hmm?
Name the
Oh,
character.
I don't even know what the character was. He had that long.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh! No, you just didn't do that.
Sorry, but he's.
I did not know that.
We don't condone any.
Oh, he did that. He did that a lot. He got in trouble that evening. You and Will were not at the event the night that we worked the Hard Rock the second time.
When that happened, we were working. I think we were working. This is probably 2013. We were working at we were at Rob Zombie.
No, Blumhouse.
No, because
No.
when Pierre got hired, this is our third year. This is our last, like not third. This is our third year.
I think you guys were at. You guys weren't at Del Mar.
We were in LA. I just know we were in LA, and when I had different groups, and those groups would go, and they would have we had the elites, and then we had the B, C elites that were they were good. Trust me, they were good. But this one, I want everybody to say, listen, you cannot do this, you can't do that, and especially when you're in entertainment, things happen. You're offered drugs, sex, and rock and roll. And I was like, don't do it. Stay focused. And he wasn't focused, unfortunately, and he had to leave us. So yeah. That did happen. But go ahead. You got one more.
That's scary. And me personally, I know Will guarantee we don't condone any actors at any time grabbing hosts or anything inappropriate. But you know, sometimes people flash you. We've all experienced it. You know, that's what I was getting at. Not like, oh yeah.
So we can see. You just want to see some titties, you motherfucker. I see.
Oh my God! Here we go.
I love it. Hey.
I'm just
fade
saying,
to black.
let me just say this: I put our scare actors amongst some of the best spotlights and highlights of entertainment, and things happen. They're territorial. We saw a girl literally OD'd in front of us, so like things would happen, and like monsters were moving. We're going from one level to the next. Girls ODing. She had too much. She's partying too hard.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
I remember.
We were scared, but what does Evil Ronald look like when there's someone ODing? This was something that one thing I learned about the club industry is that they don't care.
Mm-mm.
It's about that dollar.
They don't.
And if you are ODing, what came around the radio and what was said to me was, we're going to pick her up, put her in the alley.
Yep.
That's sad.
Where's my camera? So when you're out partying, these event producers really don't care. So watch yourself.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. But go ahead. So talking about timing and scaring. Let's talk about timing and scaring.
Oh, I thought you guys wanted me to finish my story when we got up in there, man.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, we go. Every sentence can trigger a new memory.
Yeah, I know.
So
That's
that's the trick. But yeah, so getting in there, like I said, after the parking situation, and then trying to get in, and then then getting in and almost getting stopped, and then then they're like, no, they're good. So I think we go upstairs, and I think, I guess they're not a part of the company no more, but Roger and Timmy were this with OGs, some older guys.
Yep.
Some guys that would swear up and down that they can scare their tail off.
Why are you going to bring that up? They watch, right?
I want them to watch. Check it out. I know it's just funny because I can't. I'm not making it up. So when we get in there, one of the guys, Timmy's, he was around a little bit, but Roger, he was out of the game a little while. And I think the last time he scared was at Ville Lake, maybe. I think so.
Stop. Stop.
I'm just asking. I don't know because when I was around, I didn't see him. So I'm just saying. So when it came to that,
he was working.
No. I'm just saying when he's scared. Like I don't know when his previous, Anyway, relax. So let me. So at a young age, I was envied a lot because I was next to Will, and people wanted to be with him, and I was with him, and people hated on me so much. So that time, I felt like I needed to prove myself, and me and Will, man, I was scaring so hard that I didn't have any more makeup on. Like it was all gone.
If you let me just say this topic is getting very difficult for me because he's really saying some sensitive the truth about some things, and I don't want to offend nobody, but we're just gonna keep it uncensored.
No, I'm just letting you know my experiences as a young,
but,
like at the end of the day, this is from what my lens at 16, at what it was, how unfairly I was treated by certain people for no good reason. So my motivation at that time was to show, okay, y'all ain't seen me scared because me and Will, we were tag teaming events by ourselves before that night,
right?
And then when they came, I said, they don't even know I'm sitting in the back seat on fire. I'm like, you about to see some shit. When we went upstairs after all my makeup was on and Roger, we needed a break, and Roger took his mask off, he was like, whew. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I didn't know you guys were. I'm out of the game. I can't do this no more. Remember that?
When he said that to us, I literally was like, "Oh no, I gotta fix this."
Yeah.
And it wasn't me fixing it with him. It was me just repositioning someone within the business.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, James. You're almost like an expert on this subject. We know about I think everybody and their mama can know about scare acting out of pocket, out of a drop scare, or whatever it may be, entering maze. What is your process when you're sitting there, like, all right, it's time to go. The doors open up, the quads opening up, customers are pouring in, people excited, and you're scare acting, not just in a maze. You're in an open floor. What are you doing to get the good?
You said not. So just being in like outside, what's my process before going outside and going into entertain people that are in line or outside?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a different, unique process because, like I said, me and Will, and to a certain point when that was happening, me and Will, had characters together. So
Mhm.
Boys to Whip Stitch together. We were the last ones to get dressed. We didn't even want people to know who we were. We wanted
Right.
those characters.
No one knew
to
who you
come
were.
out. Those people right there for a long time. Even some of our own team didn't even know who those people were. They just
Right.
they couldn't put two and two together.
Yeah.
So our process was running around, making sure everybody was good. I didn't even have time to sit and really appreciate like what I was doing to go outside because we had such a long task to make sure the event was going to go well before even putting the mask on. Then when you put the mask on, it's like this. Like it's just, me and Will have a different type of language. They didn't even speak. We just look at each other, put our stuff on, and just go. And when we're out there, we are murdering. It's just time. We have to play catch up because it say the event starts at 7. We're not out there till about 7:15, 7:30, making sure everything was good behind the scenes before going out there. And then once we finally get out there, we're playing catch up. So we're trying to go murder everybody, trying to make sure everywhere we're known and our energy's out there. So when y'all see us from a distance, we had people turning around buying tickets and not even coming in. We were killing it, murdering. It was so
And there were no refunds at that time.
no. And that's the thing. People were, oh, can I? No refunds. Bye. And then
And
go just beat
back-
dicks for no reason. But
they actually, majority of them went and bought another ticket and braved themselves through. Some actually said, "Nope, we just don't do it."
and I played sports at the time too. So like when you get frustrated with school or a girlfriend or a friend, like you don't want to take your energy out on people. We would take our negative out like that. And I practice sliding so much. I don't know if you know what sliding is. I don't know how hip you are to that, but like that scare tactic was like my therapy. So I'm seeing people fall, cry. I'm laughing on the inside. I'm not trying to help you up. Sucks to be you. We just going. Like I'm telling you, like having a great time, and then Will coming up with a big horn sticking right in the ass. Like, come on, stop playing. We were having a good old time, man. So that my process as an elite monster.
Do you remember getting fined for that?
Hold on. So my process is a little different because I was not only a monster, I was also management as well. So I wasn't able to sit there and have a good old time getting ready, having fun with the boys before going outside. So it's
never had that.
He was my little dude. So I used him with different hats and in management, and he's my eyes and ears too. So people thought that they were talking crap about me to James, but really James was letting me know what was going on. But it helped me to learn people, how to people manage, how to put my differences aside just to be there for the project itself, because I was young too, and this was a new business, for me. This was a new me and new management and new leadership. So it was different for me. James, talk to me about timing. What?
Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
On his note, you know what we used to just say, people talking about you behind your back. You know, that's something that you have to understand as a business owner and a leader, that people gonna talk shit about you, and
No matter what,
you have to shift the shit, like really shift it, and be like, okay, this is him complaining because he's fresh about the job. Because no matter what, it sucks. Even if you're a movie theater, popping the popcorn and your hands get greasy, right? It stuff like that. And you have to be able to shift it. Whatever. Let him say the bad things about me, because that's what it's. But it's like this dude is just tearing me down as an individual, and that's disrespectful. And that's something, you know, we all, anybody in management position, owner position, anything, with whatever it may be, down to McDonald's, all the way up to owning a haunted attraction, whatever it can be. You have to understand, people gonna talk shit. You know,
I had to learn how to listen intently and listen actively. So what they're complaining about, is it something that I caused or a situation happened? How can I find a solution for it? And so, how do I make them safe? How do I make them feel comfortable in scaring, and so, or in doing their job, their task? And so that's what that was. And so if it was just about me and what I look like, my personal attacks, I knew they were for me, and they just had to be moved out the way. But if it was something for the project and I wasn't, well, he's not listening to me. All right, I need to stop and like give them 100% attention to attentively listen to them. And that was something that no one taught me that. I had to go through and learn. And James was a huge person on that. And so one of the things that I want to do is I want to talk about, especially when James come back on, is not only the timing and just how to scare, but for me, scaring meant the world. I can, he mentioned the fact that we would channel our differences and our issues and our ups and downs, our setbacks, and we will express it through our scares, right? We will vent through our scaring. So many people do that. I remember, talking to a Not Scary Farm monster in California, and they were like, "Man, I had a rough day." They're going to use it during their scaring, and they used it, and that energy will surpass, and then it will turn into a scare, and then that person's like, "Whoa!" And when you get that big scare, and you're impacting on a guest, that's the ticket for that guest to say, "Yo, I'm going to come back," or "I love what they did. They totally allowed me to lose reality and to be in this world where I can have a jump scare and laugh at it or be laughed at by my friends." And so that's amazing. One of the things, there he is.
Hey, okay, so you said timing, right?
Yeah. Why is
I
it?
got a really good story about timing.
All right, go.
So, my first year, 2007, I was in a maze. So there was so our venue wasn't, like, it didn't have a place for monsters to play outside. Really, there's a little bit, but we dealing with,
it was low
stuff. Didn't really have that much, but anyways, I think it was 2008. I think it was our first night, right, Will? I was in a maze, and the
event was kind of dry. People were trickling in. People enjoyed the event, and we were walking, and I was like, "The event's not right." I said, "Something's wrong here," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That was the very beginning, right? That was the very first.
No one wasn't scaring, and it was like people were just wandering. I was like, "Where do we go?" And I was like, I gotta get someone out here with me. I gotta get dressed. I gotta do something. I gotta make up for the lack that's there." And I remember like running to the attraction that he was at. We had two, and one of them was Uncle Barnett's Funhouse of Fear. And I was like, "Yo," I said, "Get your sliding gear. Let's go." And I looked at him, and he would start shaking because he knew that was a big thing. We didn't open up his attraction yet. He starts shaking. He starts grabbing his stuff.
So context on that. I had this room, right? I had a big room, had like a bench in it. It was like a good, probably 20 by 20, nice area for me to I can even slide in there to a certain point. Like I can use my ability in there. So I'm in there practicing, trying to find spots. And he yanked me out of that. And I was like, "Oh shit, what's about to happen?" Yeah. So I got put on the concourse. Never done that before. One time in 2007, I got taken out of the maze to take a picture, and I scared some guests in the lobby, and then I made my way back to my spot, but I never really done anything like this. So I was so excited, and Will knows I'm all about YouTube back then. So I'm looking at monsters from Knott's and trying to see what they do, how they do things. So I'm running amok around on this concourse trying to scare people, and it got to the point to where Will wanted to scare with me, and I wanted to scare with him, but I would steal his scares. Meaning, so you can see he has an approach. He has like a group lockdown. You can see because you always have to observe. You can see a monster is going to get a scare by the group and the positioning, right? So I'm not even paying attention to that. So I'm jumping in front of him and taking his scares. It got to the point where he had to sit me down like, "Look, don't scare. Don't take my stuff, but scare with me." So that's how I learned timing and also a bounce scare. So instead of taking his scare, he can distract him. I can come in, or I can distract them from a distance and catch their attention. We can do. That's how we got this unspoken language of just looking at each other, knowing how to and when to. So I could probably write a book on what and what not to with scaring. Period. Because there's so many things you can do incorrectly that makes your other person look bad too. So you did so he taught me a very valuable lesson about how not to and what it is with timing.
Even when we were scaring and he would steal my scares, I was getting so pissed off because I was like, "Dude, I'm working it. And this concourse is huge, and it takes me a while to get from point A to point B with my energy just for you to go zoom and get the scare." And I'm like, "What?" I've had chainsaw, and he would just jump right on in and just like, "Doo!" And I'm like, you see, if you look at the upper right, there's me and the chainsaw, and there he is, still in my hair.
That's Will's famous quote. He's like, see that picture? That's you stealing my goddamn scare.
Upper right, he stole my hair, and it was captured.
The first time is an accident. The second time, we're going to talk about it. The third time you do it, the mask is coming off. Like, get the fuck off my court. This is not scary.
And this is
like communicating, man.
And this is me at 14 years old, and me and him are the only people out there.
I'll grab you by your shorts and pants.
I knew this was a lesson, a learning lesson for him. So when he did it again, I said, "You see what you just did there?" He's like, "Yeah, you stole my scare." He was like, "Oh, I get it." I said, "If I'm working it, and even when he did it, I was like, go ahead, steal my scare. Go ahead, I'm gonna tucker you out. I'm gonna make sure you tired as so that you cannot do anything, and I'm gonna get the scares."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he was so tired. I'm like, go ahead. You tired, huh? Yeah, you did. I mean, I watched him zoom. And I was like, yeah. And when he was tired, I said, all right, now it's my turn to work.
There's a sort of beauty of it, but if you think about it, like with ballet, like the two when they have to bounce back and forth, or they're a codependent scene, or even like a quad actors when they're like associated, it's a beauty to because they have to communicate by looking like, and it's communication with little nonverbal. So just knowing, like I'm sitting here, I'm seeing Willie. He goes and he's getting that person. I want to get this person. It's almost hard.
It's like being a mind wave where you can communicate with people without talking. And with James and I, we've grown accustomed in a pressure cooker moment where we had to be good to learn off of each other and to learn how to work with each other. But tell us, and thanks for sharing that story. But tell us, what are some of the things to know about timing on a scare?
So that's the thing too. What we teach our monsters too is how to pick a scare. So you don't just scare everybody, because that's how you get a quick way to get your put on your ass. I can vouch. I mean, not vouch, but the one thing I'm very proud of is I've never been hit. I've never got swung on. I never anything. Just learning body language, because there's a fight, fright, and flight. There's the 3 Fs, and the fight is the most important one, because one swing and you can your career's over. So always paying attention to body language, energy. You're always putting yourself in a good position not to be seen, or to be seen to distract for another person to get a scare. There's so many things, and me and Will got this so good that we didn't even need to hide. You could put a paper bag over my face. I'm going to ruin you, because my energy is going. My energy is going to come out. It's not even about what's on my face. It's about what I'm making you feel. I'm going to make you feel like something's about to happen. It's all about it. So I'm going to say timing's not only just observing, but energy. You have to feel it. You have to pick. There's times where I'm about to go in and I don't feel it. I bounce out of a scare. I leave it. And I might shoot a joke and get out of there and make them laugh, because the tough guy he wants to be broken down. He wants to enjoy himself, but he's going there to try to act tough for his lady, whatever. So there's always a different. It's kind of it takes time and experience, but timing is definitely an energy and observing game. You have to pay attention to everything. So
timing is also, for me, is like a dance. It's like a beat. If you're off 1 second, that scare is not effective. Yep. But if you are on your money, if you are noticing like their eyes, like one of the things
once they look away, oh yeah.
Once you talk about body language, but also the eyes, you got to pay attention. And I was talking to, I think you, Gerard. I was like, it's about watching them. If the best scare actor is the best observer,
right?
Best communicator is the best director and producer.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a scare actor, I'm going to look at somebody and I'm going to use my discernment on how they operate, so I can come in and get the scare. I can come in and get an attack and let them, get a jump, so I can, feel good about myself. But yeah, what is a tip that you give a scare actor about timing and scaring?
A tip on timing and scaring?
Yes.
What would be my best thing? But yeah, like you said, observing, man. It's just like keeping your eyes open, because It's a longevity game. You know, there might be a scare that. Say it again.
You said it right there. Longevity. You gotta you gotta last longer than the guest.
Yeah. And there's times where you might see somebody you might want to get, but it's not the right time. So it's just like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna wait for you to come out this way, or I'm gonna see you, or I'm gonna put you in a predicament where you got to go this way, or I might go duck between your friends and go whatever. There's so many things, but the main thing is observing. You have to pay attention to what they're doing, how they're reacting, or what their energy is, because they come in and some people want to get scared, or some people want to fight, or whatever the case. There's so many things, man. You just don't know. Like I've seen you. I remember back in 2007 where a girl swung and you had to hem her up in the maze because she just wanted to fight.
What? You're not supposed to say that, you guys. Okay.
You no, but the thing is, a monster. It doesn't. I don't care what it is. You have to protect yourself.
So I was in the maze, and there was this long hallway, and we were short staffed, and there's this girl that was walking in. She was a straggler. You have
might have been Hey Joe hallway actually.
And it was the hallway. And she went left. I went left. She went right. I went right. And she had
pissed.
I think she was had because her friends left her. She grabbed my mask, and I had one of those. We call it Zagazone mask.
I don't care what they say.
But anyway, the mask had straps back here, and when she grabbed my mask, my head went down, and she started to uppercut me. Boom, boom, and she was busting my face up, and I couldn't do anything. And I had these click clacks, and I had to put her in a restraint and use her shirt to put over her head.
Oh my gosh!
To get her from hitting me, I had to defend myself because she was literally knocking. This girl was not playing, and she was literally uppercutting me and busting my nose up and everything. And I had to restrain her, like, I am a person, and you're hitting a person. And she looked at me like, oh, like it's now I'm not. Like she snapped out of her defense mode, and I'm just looking at her like, what did you go through to like have this defense mode to like start attacking somebody? It was crazy.
Let me ask this question then. Both of you. Do you feel like there's some people in a haunted house that's almost like they're innocent when it comes to almost I'm not saying attacking act, but like punching act, like they come around and it's almost like reflex. Is there some people who are innocent? You think everybody's just
I believe that.
There's two. Yeah, there's two. You have the people that will react. It's like a whoa, what's that?
There's
or
a person gonna hit you and say sorry.
Have you ever felt a buzzing of a bug in your ear? And you're like,
yeah.
So there's a reaction that happens, right? So yes, if they scare, there's a reaction. My sister is known for that. She's a fighter, and if I scare my older sister, she's gonna swing. You gotta watch out for that, and that's the distance of ratio between a guest and you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the ones that will square up and want to fight. Those you gotta watch out. You can watch by their hands, their posture, and their eyes, because if their eyes are still on something, you know that they're not gonna, they're not scared. But if their eyes are bouncing back and forth, they're scared, but they're faking that they're hard. Yep. But if they're hard, it's like laser focus, they don't want to be there. That's that person. But if their eyes are bouncing and they're hard, you're faking. That's a fake posture. So I could come and scare you. A lot of black men that's scared, they'll square up. But if their eyes are hitting the corner, it's a fake posture.
Yep.
And it's good. I get them. James get them. We go for the girls second, the guys first.
Yeah.
Because guys are the challenge. If I can go,
I mean,
gotcha.
anybody can get the kids. Anybody can get the
girl.
No offense, cat. But anybody can get women. I'm no offense, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. But let me tell you, when you see that big boy coming down, he got his little old leg. I got you, baby. Grab my arm. I'm gonna teach. And you get that man to grab a hold of her, and you just want to super.
Leaving her.
Oh,
yeah. I love the ones that leave the girls. Like, go girl, and she gets mad. You
just won the Super Bowl. You just won. Oh God.
So what we're gonna do is, because I know we could talk for hours, and I know our time is getting up, and we miss a lot of our segments. But I want to have James back. The reason why, James, because we talked about this. We're like, yo, we need to share our stories. You mentioned that you have a unique resume. and I believe so too. I think you, for the age of 13 all the way to even the past couple of mid 2000s, you had an extraordinary resume where you went from volunteer actor to now meeting act like celebrities.
We were going to the Fantasy Factory like 1 a.m.
That's Fantasy Factory. We had access to the Fantasy Factory where they would just allow us just to chill.
Go give us free clothes, socks, whatever. Just go chill. Not even in costume. Just go chill.
It's so funny because I would tell him, and he's like, "What?" And I would tell other people, they're like, "What?" Like, yeah. I have Rob Dyrdek's phone number in my phone. It's like, what? Yeah.
Will, what? I have a story.
What?
Really fast. I was at work, and I was talking about that event, and this girl sitting next to me in my job said, "That sounds familiar. Didn't a bunch of guys go and scare Rob Dyrdek at his place?" And I said, "That's my family."
MTV.
And she said, "You're kidding me." And I put it on, and she said, "I've already seen this.
Yep.
I did not know that you knew these people." I said, "Yeah, that's Will, that's James, that's the guys."
Let me just say this to piggyback off you. When we gave the Rob Dyrdek at the Fantasy Factory on MTV, the Scaregram in 2012, we broke Instagram and we broke Twitter. The site went down when they posted, because it was during Halloween. They posted, and they got so many interactions on this post of us scaring them, going to the Fantasy Factory and scaring them. Twitter and Instagram went kaput. From the time I went from the Fantasy Factory back to our haunt in LA, across the street from Staples Center, I went up the stairs, or James and I went up, and we got out the elevator, and I saw my team crying. I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "We broke the internet." And we had millions of views when they posted it, and they posted it on YouTube, millions of views. And it was beautiful because that was one of my goals that I wanted to do that year. I was manifesting, and we can talk about that on another show. That was one of my goals. Was like,
do people even know how we got there?
No, but I want to say this. We want to talk about it soon, and I want to introduce everybody to this. If you're a scare actor and you're watching and you want to tell your story, or you want to hear scare actors tell their stories, check this out. No ad reads. We're going to just end it. But I want to introduce you guys to Scare Actors Diaries. This is something that I want to do, where we literally bring in scare actors and they tell their story. They got crazy stories. You know why? How I know this? Because I have crazy stories. Yes, we have amazing career in scaring people and celebrities and whatnot, but some of them have some crazy stories, and I wanted to put it together. And so we're gonna do it here on Yep, That's Scary, and we're gonna talk about it. But James and I, we're gonna come on, and we're gonna talk about it as a series and talk about what happened, and talk from the early stages to the mid 2000s, working with Rob Zombie, working with Jason Blum, working with all these cats, these celebrities coming in. As you guys can see, some of them that we had, even like John Murdy coming in and watching us. That's Jojo Wright from iHeartRadio. That's what's name from Grandma. Like we have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of pictures of celebrities. At Universal Studios, they didn't have red carpet celebrities at the time. John from Universal Studios came to Blumhouse, our event, took a picture with me, and even tweeted us and said, "I'm watching Scream Team do their work." And they were killing it. And there's celebrities walking up, Real Housewives from New York. All these people was coming up.
Can't even name them. So many.
Yeah, so many. And they were taking pictures, and he went, "Ding." And that was when they started using celebrities big time in their press releases when they opened up. I mean, there were celebrities there, but they never highlighted like they do now. And that was the thanks to us. So I just want to say, go ahead and say your line about Scare Actors Diaries. Real quick.
If you're a scare actor and you would like to tell your scare actor stories on this show, slide into our DMs, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and submit yourself in our new series, Yep, That's Scary. Again, if you're a scare actor, send them in to all of our social media. And if you're single, hot woman, send me an invite. How you doing?
Oh my goodness, here he goes.
Don't fucking call that motherfucker, man.
You know my here hanging out.
His chesticles is all out.
Yeah, what I want to say this is, what I want to say this
Yeah, put
is,
your taco meat away, man.
Is that what you? Why is it?
you just say it, that's the thing. But
gross.
let me just say this:
Stop it.
we want to hear your stories. We want you guys on here, and it's not like we're going to get anybody too. The first actors, I mean, I have a lineup. Some of the scare actors that are coming in are icon scare actors that are with a major hunt, with a major brand, and their picture is that. Okay,
I
and
mean,
they're
we scared with the best of them, man.
best of them, and they're coming in to talk about it. But if you're a scare actor, you want to join us, please go to Yep That's Scary, and let us know if you want to be on the show. But we're gonna have James back. James, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show as well. Thank you for your time and efforts, and thank you for chilling with us. I appreciate you, and we're gonna talk
for sure,
more.
man.
All right, catch you
Sounds
soon.
good, brother. Alrighty.
All right, guys. I just want to say this. It's been a long show, but and I'm so sorry we couldn't finish all the segments, but we're doing our best, and we're on a time crunch right now. But I just want to say thank you to my co-host for the show and being on. I want to say thank you to Victor, our guest, Victor and James, for being on and just really sharing their love of everything that's horror, everything that's scary with us. I want to say thank you to the viewers that are with us live and the listeners listening to our podcast at home, work, or driving in transit. We appreciate you for your love and support. Please remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share our social media accounts so that we can continue to engage while building horror families. And then again, we have so much much that's happening that we want to share with you. So again, remember to like, subscribe, share, and keep it scary.
Yo, if you like what you have just heard, subscribe now or forever hold your screams.